Good evening, folks. Welcome back to another Wednesday night hobby hangout. Hope everybody's well. Hope your week is going well. And I hope you're kind of nice, settled. You've got your beverage of choice and you've got a little bit of hobby on the table tonight. So, without further ado, let's see who we've got in the chat. You can see we've got a bit of a change of scenery tonight. To be honest, I've been painting all day, doing some painting for a video, which I've been kind of recording as I'm going. And I thought, you know what it is? I don't fancy painting tonight, so we're going to do a little bit of terrain building tonight. That's why we've got a bit of a different... oh, there's a spider come off the... just dripping down off the camera above me. There we go, I wasn't expecting that in my face. Let's have a look and see who we've got in the chat, as I said. So, Peter Nicholas saying he's sorry to see you will be a make tonight. He's got very serious condition of man flu. I hope you're feeling better soon, mate. There's a lot of it going around, as I mentioned on Monday. Ice Moon, good evening to you, fella. How you doing? We've got Marcus, the Super Pumpkin Man. Good afternoon, mate. Blizzards, good evening to you. Christian, hello, fella. How's you, mate? How's work been? Boxes are falling over here. We've got Tasty Brain Drain, hello to you, fella. Yoakum, good evening, sir. He said, hope everyone else is well. Continue to paint the Maw Crusher. I don't think I've seen any pictures of what you've been up to so far, mate. Tolmart, nice to see you in as well. He's painting more Walking Dead this evening. John Estel saying, what up, hooligans? He's working on his test models for his halflings. Very nice, mate. I didn't realise you had some halflings on the go. Very nice. Nigel Jones, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Blizzard's got a bit of Walking Dead on his table as well. I'm assuming alongside a bit of Malifaux. Carl Check, good evening to you, Carl. Jim W says, hello everyone, spiders are out, must be Halloween season. The camera's obviously right above my head there, and I could just see, you won't have seen it on the camera, but I could just see it just dropping into my eye line, like about 2 inches from my eyes. It's like, there you go. Good morning, VG, how are you? Hope you're well. Christian saying, work is knackering, doing it outside of a 4-story house. Work will do that, mate, work will do that. So yes, tonight we are taking a look at this bad boy. So this is the Abandoned Store. It's part of the Wyrdscapes range by Weird Miniatures. Kind of designed for Malifaux, but will work for any kind of sort of fantasy, even some kind of sort of modern day type stuff as well. It would work well as kind of sort of ruined shanty type stuff and that. But it is all hard plastic. I've not done anything with it yet. This is part of the Edge of the Quarantine Zone range. If we flip the box over, you can hear all the plastic rattling about. There's one building in it and one roof. And the idea with this stuff is that you can basically buy all of the different units and they all just kind of cobble together. You can come up with some very sort of strange fantasy type buildings just by layering up the different levels, so the kind of footprint of the buildings is such that basically they kind of stack on top of each other. So yeah, there's like I say, it's kind of designed with Malifaux in mind because it's from Weird. However, it's like I say, it would work in lots of different settings. And as you can see, if I open it up, there is a mountain of plastic inside. So I just put the box to one side there. You can see there's plenty of sprues in this. There's one, there's two, there's three. And you can see there as well, hopefully, it is really, really thick plastic. Kind of, I would say it's even thicker than the kind of GW stuff. It's quite a heavy box, to be fair. This is the fourth one here as well. There's a little bag which has some... this is just some little bits that kind of I think I knocked off, so I wrapped them in a bit of plastic so I didn't lose them. I thought it was a plastic bag there. This one here as well, with some roof bits, and then obviously some walls and bits and pieces as well. Now the interesting thing is there is no instructions for this, so I've got no idea how it goes together. I'm assuming that it's pretty self-explanatory, and I'm sure by looking at the images on the box and then seeing what bits we've got, we'll try our best to build it up. But all of the interiors and exterior is all fully kind of detailed and molded. Now they're not cheap, these things. They cost a few quid, but what I would say is they look fantastic quality. So we'll see what it's like when it goes together. John saying they're lovely models, just trying to do them justice. I think 5,000 of goblins was enough. I can imagine 5,000 points of goldens is quite hard going, mate. Tom was saying it looks awesome. Yeah, it looks really nice, mate, doesn't it? I'm looking forward to building it, mate. Dan says, greetings all. Hopefully going to finish some dwarf ships while listening along. Hope everyone is well. Hello to you. Spunky Taz says, hola, yeah, buggers. Hope everyone is well. Very well, thanks for asking. And Peter says, evening all, missed the start, too busy looking at new games. Does some things never change, mate, do they? So, yeah, I'm on the very English sort of British tea tonight, builder's tea tonight. Nothing fancy, tea and milk. No fancy sort of ginger flavoured stuff or green tea or anything. So yeah, I think we'll crack on. I think the best thing I can probably do is try and kind of work my way through this, have a look, see what we've got, and try and kind of, I assume some of it is the roof sections, which looks like these bits. Let me just put the camera back down to the table. I'm assuming this by the kind of these wooden lats and stuff. They look like the roof section. So we'll pop the roof section to one side, and I think there's some bits of the roof there as well, some bits of the walls. I think we'll clip out the big wall bits and the floor section. No, I think we'll just take it for there and see how it goes. Really, like I said, there's no instructions. I had a quick look online, couldn't see anything, but I'm assuming it's going to be relatively straightforward. He says, you can see there the floor's got quite a bit of sort of what's it called again, like parquet floor type stuff. Ed Hanley, good evening to you, mate. How the devil are you doing? Hope you're well, my friend. Peterson was looking for the Dark City expansion for Marvel Legendary. There you go, mate. Looking for new stuff, eh? So I've been cracking on with the Dead Zone 3.0 stuff this week. So if you didn't see it, there was a video went live last night, kind of showing you 5 tips on how to build the terrain up. So if you're buying that Dead Zone 3.0 starter set, and if you're anything like me, you get that kind of analysis paralysis of how the hell do I build this? I don't want to build it wrong. I don't want to mess it up, kind of thing. The video will give you some kind of tips on how to get the best out of that starter set. And then, obviously, since I finished recording that and edited it, I've since been painting up the terrain and videoing it as well, so I can do a little video on that. So hopefully, if all goes well, by the end of tomorrow we should have finished the painting and the videoing. Friday might be an editing day. I've got another hospital appointment. I had a hospital appointment today. I've got another hospital appointment tomorrow, so that kind of like screws my days up a little bit. What have I got? What day is it tomorrow? Thursday. So yeah, hopefully I can get the painting finished Thursday. I can do the editing on Friday, so hopefully it might be Friday night's video. Friday night I am doing a video interview with Kyle from Wyrdscapes. So we're going to be doing an interview and seeing what asking the questions. If you've got any questions about Wyrdscapes, please that you kind of you want to know from the horse's mouth, so to speak, please do let me know, and I'll certainly pop them towards Kyle on Friday. And then Monday we're live streaming again, but Monday I'm doing some more filming, but on a slightly different thing that I can't really talk about. Tuesday we've got another interview. So Tuesday I'm filming the interview with I think it's called Lewis from TT Combat. So we're going to be talking all things Carnivale. So yeah, there's it's coming thick and fast at the moment. I know I've kind of obviously had a few health issues, and that kind of slowed me down a little bit. My mind wasn't quite on the job in hand back then, but I've kind of put them to one side now, and kind of trying to get back into first gear and get cracking again. So yeah, hopefully I've got some good stuff for you all to be watching. So I apologise, things kind of eased up and slowed down a little bit, but yeah, full steam ahead again now. Let's have a little look, see what we've got. Carl saying these sprues look super detailed. Do you know what it is, Carl? Let me zoom in a little bit so that is it this other way. You don't want to see my cup of tea, do you? If I can scroll down a little bit, you can kind of see some of the. Make sure I'm just looking because the screen's over there. So you can see these walls. They've got like little kind of shutters and things, all the bricks and things, and all of the kind of damaged bits of wall and stuff. This is, what's this? don't even know if it's a wall, if it's a floor section. I don't know what it'll be until I assume it's a wall section. But yeah, both sides are highly detailed as well, because I think the way it's designed, obviously you don't have to put the roof on the buildings, so you can actually like sort of, you could use them for sort of D&D, that type of stuff, and use the internals. And I think the way it's all set up is you can use it without the roof, as there's a kind of like a flat roof section. Yeah, there's loads of different bits on these, but yeah, I'll kind of, you can see here as well, I haven't clipped that bit out yet. It's a little bit of an air vent part there. Let's cut that off. That is, you can see here, there's I kind of look at it on camera, the back of the door there as well, like a broken window, a grate in the floor there, and then on the flip side we've got curtains hanging down, and all the kind of plaster flaking off the wall and stuff. Yeah, really, really detailed. And then there's the floor section there as well. There's some little kind of like not notches, kind of like sort of little, what would you call them? Sort of locator pin type things, and some little holes where things will go into as well. And obviously that's just a bit that will go flat to the floor. So let me scroll that one out again and we can see right there. There we go. And we'll keep cutting these bits out, and we'll chat as we go. Dave's Mini Menagerie. Hello, Dave. Welcome to the chat. Nice to have a new name in there. Nice to see a new face. He says, Malifaux makes my tinkle winkle. Makes my winkle tinkle, I imagine. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Malifaux. Like I've mentioned many times, it's the game that got me started in gaming, really. I did kind of dabble very slightly with 40k, more in paint and miniatures, really. But my first demo game of 40k did not tick the boxes, and I very quickly looked for something else to play, and Malifaux was that game, and here we are many years later. It's now my job, it's now my career. So if it wasn't for Malifaux, if Malifaux turned out to be not very good, who knows, this might not be happening now. Busey says, hello Busey, by the way. He says, evening everyone. Looks like a sturdy bit of kit this. Yeah, it's certainly not your kind of normal MDF stuff with like kind of not a lot of sort of outward design type stuff. I think if you're into building kind of diorama type stuff, I think you get a lot of mileage from this kind of stuff. If you're just wanting to build some nice buildings just for a bit of a hobby project, if you're doing stuff for D&D, or of course if you're wanting to play Malifaux as well, I think you'll get some nice mileage out of this stuff. Let's have a little look here. Peter says, actually having so much fun with the Marvel Legendary game, I wanted more. Still need to look at your Dead Zone vid. We'll have to see if I can get my mitts on a starter locally. Yeah, hopefully you can get your hands on it, mate. Especially with the price rises and stuff of... oh, actually, it might not be so bad with that. I'm thinking more just FFG stuff. There's a lot of price rises coming through at the minute. So yeah, I'm just clipping through these big chunky parts at the moment, and we'll clean them up and start to kind of dry fit everything and see how it all fits together. Ed saying, anyone see the cardboard terrain for D&D Wizards of the Coast are previewing for free RPG day? Nice idea, but the quality seems questionable. I have not seen it, mate. No, so I can't really comment on the quality. Cardboard terrain is such a mixed bag, unfortunately. I mean, you've got some things like the battle system stuff, and you've got the stuff that what they called again, Corvus Belli do for Infinity, and for card terrain. They are really good quality, and then there's some other stuff which kind of looks like it would fall to bits as soon as you touched it. So yeah, it can be a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to terrain. It's certainly a quick way to get things to the table. I spent a lot of time a long time ago making terrain out of... Let me just check, is that a roof part there? I don't think... Oh, actually, is that the window frame for the upstairs? It could be. No, I don't know if it is or not. We'll cut it out anyway. Making terrain from... Well, I need to try and remember the name now. Is it Wyrdscapes, where you print them out yourself? And actually, I quite enjoyed it as a little project. And it turned out all right. It was for Malifaux when I first started playing. Couldn't really afford kind of lots of terrain and stuff at the time, but I still wanted my tables to look nice. So I printed off a lot of WorldWorks terrain stuff and it turned out great. So yeah, but it's definitely a mixed bag. Where are we up to here? People having a bit of a chat. Tizzy Brain Drinking, glad you're here. You're back in the swing of things. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the health stuff hasn't gone away. I'm just sort of trying not to focus on it at the moment. I'm trying to take my mind off it all. So yeah, I'm just cracking on, mate. Just cracking on. So no doubt there will be times when I have to kind of sort of reschedule some streams and stuff like that, or what have you, or maybe the videos might dry up again for like a week or so. It just depends on what's happening with kind of like appointments and things like that. So I think that's probably. I need a bigger desk. You wouldn't think I've got a big 6x4 table here, and I'm surrounded by stuff trying to make space for myself. I want to have a look at the picture on the front of the box as well. So I think what we've got here, this looks like the flat roof section here. So I think that's what that is. And underneath you can see a little trapdoor, and obviously the wooden lats for the roof. So I know what that is. That's obviously the front door. So we know that that's going to go that way. We know that's the floor section. I just need to kind of work out which way around that goes. Does that go to the floor like that? We've obviously got these bits down the side, and I don't know if you can see here. There's like little slots in there, so they obviously go into that part there. There'll be another wall section which has slots for the other side, which is that one. So that looks cool. I don't know. I think that might be for the roof or something. So we'll put that to one side. This one looks like it's for the back wall. And will they fit into there? Yeah, those bits will fit. There's some nice little kind of locator tabs, so they'll fit into there. I'll put the. Just must go around that bit there, like that. Bit of a snug fit. I think I have to clean off the bits on the sides. That'll what it'll be. And then this bit will slot into there and into there. So yeah, that's obviously the bottom part of our building. That fits together quite nicely. I just need to clean up the parts, and then we can. I think we'll glue them bits together. I mean, this is the kind of thing where you start to look at it and you think, should I be painting this before I glue it together to get like inside the building and do a good job of it? So now I'm kind of looking around and thinking, oh, is that what I should be doing? But let's be honest, how often I'm painting inside the building? I mean, you could from if you're doing like diorama type stuff, like just using the back wall and the front two sides will be a nice little kind of setting for diorama stuff. But yeah, let's clean the bits up and crack on. Let's have a little look in the chat as well. Jim W says, love the feel. Hello Jim, by the way. Love the feel, idea, world of Malifaux. Unfortunately, it's so arty I can't wrap my brain around it. I feel like a kid stuck outside a candy shop, but the entry door is too weird for me to open. What do you mean by about too arty, mate? It's I personally wouldn't say it's a difficult game to play. I think it's a difficult game to master, but it's never a bad thing really, because the beauty of the game really, like, once you kind of start to understand synergies between players or between characters, if you like, that's when you unlock the magic, if you like, of Malifaux. However, the kind of the core mechanics of the game itself are actually way more simple than you would imagine. It's one of those games where you really need to kind of either demo it or kind of have a little bit of a playthrough, because on paper it can sound quite confusing, and if you watch anybody doing a demo of it like on a video, sometimes they make a lot of assumptions that folks know the basics and they kind of skip over them. So when it comes to things like the card mechanic and flipping cards, they can sometimes kind of skim over some of the basic stuff. But if you can get a demo, or you can download the rules for free, all of the stat cards are all free. everything that you need to kind of play is free. You can play with a deck of cards. It doesn't need to be a specific Malifaux deck of cards, although the Fate decks are very nice. You can just play it with a normal 52 deck of cards, or 54, including the 2 jokers, I should say, really. And just give it a try, basically. Just kind of run through some of the basic rules. Apologise if that's really squeaky on the microphone. Run through some of the basic rules, and you'd be surprised. So I appreciate it can feel a little bit sort of like, oh, this is weird, there's no dice, I don't really understand what I'm doing. But in practice, it's certainly not the case. If I can get my head around it, anybody can, because I'm not the most, well, I say not tactical gamer, because I do like to play tactics and stuff, but I prefer more simplistic rule sets, if you like 40k kind of goes over my head, and I'm not a huge fan of AOS for the same reasons. I just feel like you constantly got your head in different books, looking at different army lists and different army stats and different army rules, and those games are a little bit kind of out of my reach a bit, really. So yeah, that's if I can do it, anybody can, is what I would say. Blizzard, I had no idea those had in TVs, let alone so much detail. I'll have to pick up a few. Yeah, they're really nice, mate. I was kind of super impressed when I first got my hands on one. It's one of those things that weird over the years, I apologise again for the squeaking, weird over the years, kind of keep their marketing a little bit quiet. If you're in and around the Malifaux universe and the kind of the weird forums and stuff like that, as they still do a lot of stuff on the forums, you might see a lot of this stuff, but Weird don't really do a lot of kind of social media stuff. They don't really kind of sort of talk to podcasters or do a lot of YouTube stuff. They're starting to kind of open up and do a bit more streaming at the moment. So if you are into kind of these hobby streams, they've got a few streamers who they're doing. The only thing I would say about some of the Weird streams at the moment, and this is just me kind of talking off my own butt here, is I think some of the streamers are fantastic painters, but they're a bit quiet. I know they're not sort of streaming to huge numbers, but I'm a firm believer if you're streaming, it doesn't matter if you're streaming to know people or you're streaming to thousands of people. You still have to be entertaining. You still have to, not that I'm saying I am, but I mean you still have to keep chatting, and you got to keep talking, and you have to chat as if there's people there, because otherwise when somebody tunes in and it's just silence, it's not the most entertaining of streams. And it's certainly, if you're using them as I do, to sit and kind of paint to or to listen to while I'm hobbying, you need some background noise. You need a bit of a little bit of kind of sort of almost a bit of company, really. I just wish some of their streamers kind of engaged a little bit more, and it might be because they're new streamers. I'm not kind of slating anybody, I'm not picking out anybody in particular, but I just wish they were a little bit more interactive, I would say. Where are we up to here? Phil Campbell, hello fella, how are you doing? And we've also got Carl saying definitely need to get these. Me and my wife love Malifaux and sometimes Warcry. You're a man after my own heart, mate. I love Warcry. Is kind of like if you think about Warcry's rules, the simplicity of like the basics are easy to get your head around. There's a little bit of depth once you start to kind of sort of understand a bit more. That's the kind of game I love. I like accessible games that I can choose to just play kind of casually, or can dig a bit deeper, and I think Malifaux fits into that as well. I think Malifaux kind of gets a bit of a reputation. It can be quite competitive at times. People can play it quite competitively, but I just find it like the world of Malifaux and the miniatures, the quality of the miniatures, the sculpts, the whole kind of storyline around it. I just find it so interesting that, like, even if I never played the game and I only ever hobbied and just kind of like sort of read the stories or listened to the podcasts or that kind of stuff, like I find it a really, really interesting world. Jill, good evening, Jill. How are you? You've been watching Batman today. Busey says, sorry if I missed it. What's the RRP on these kits? Do you know what it is, mate? I'm not entirely sure. Let me do some digging, and I will find out for you. So, Wyrdscapes. Let me have a look, because I don't think they're cheap. I'll be honest, mate. I think they're a few quid. Let me have a look. So I'll just go to Wayland Games because it's the first one that's come up. And I'll see what else they've got. So this abandoned store is £56 RRP and they sell it for £50 and 13. So £50 for a building. Compare it to GW Plastics. I think it's kind of fair comparison, to be fair. Looking at the quality of it and the amount of plastic that's in it, yeah, I probably wouldn't say it's kind of. I mean, I don't think it's cheap. I certainly wouldn't say it's cheap, but I don't think it's overpriced too much. I think it's kind of for what you're getting. If you bought an MDF building, wouldn't have any of this kind of quality of molding and stuff and flexibility, and I think you'd still be paying sort of like 25, 30, 35 quid type stuff for it. If you were 3D printing, obviously you'd probably pay for your file and stuff. There's a hell of a lot of plastic in this, and you certainly wouldn't get the quality of this. So yeah, for me, I think, is it necessary? Absolutely not. It's a nice luxury thing to have. But if you've got a few quid to spend and you want to buy some nice scenery, I think it's probably worth it in that respect. Let's have a little look. Jill saying, hope everyone's doing well. Been watching Batman Forever. Yeah, the first Batman Forever is when it started to kind of run its course a bit for me. Marcus says, well, I've got to go use the saw, so we'll be right back. Be very careful, mate. Good evening, Jez Hunt. How are you doing, my friend? He says, these look great. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these, mate, I'll be honest. I'm a big fan of these. Phony72, good evening, Phony. Welcome to the chat. Nice to have you with us. Late night did say something and then message retracted, so I'm sure I'll get to what it was in a second. Busey says, always cut towards yourself, that way you can see what's going on. It's interesting because, like, I know you should kind of cut away from yourself like that. However, I've got my hand out the way. I'm kind of, you know, it's always worse to watch as well. But I just feel like I've got control. I'm not sort of, it's not dangerous. I'm not going to slip. I've got a sharp blade in there, which always kind of it sounds counterintuitive. But if you're using a let me do this off the microphone. If you're using a blunt blade, it tends to kind of dig in and slip and stuff, and that's when you normally do the damage, unfortunately. Ed says that might explain the complete lack of a scene around here. Got to complain the complete lack of a scene. I'm assuming you're talking about Malifaux, mate, and I don't know what you mean by explaining the complete lack of a scene. But because it's competitive, or because it's kind of, it's got nice stories. I'm not really sure, mate. Marcus says he's back. Did anything explode? It didn't, mate. I'm assuming you didn't chop off any fingers or anything like that. Is it Drit78? Hello, mate. He says, nice kit, but the price is crazy. We'll stick to printing out scenery. Yeah, I've got a 3D printer as well, mate, and I do print a lot of scenery as well. But I must admit, it's nice to have a few nice bits as well. And to be honest, if you haven't got a 3D printer and you buy a 3D printer, you've already spent more than kind of this piece of scenery would cost. Even if you bought 3 of these bits of scenery, you've still spent more than the printer would have cost you. So you've still spent more on the printer. So it depends on what you want. If you're a casual gamer, you're not looking to make loads of scenery, then I still think there's good value in this kind of stuff. Value subjective, I do understand that, but what I mean is I think what you get for the money isn't terrible. Late Night says, I'm new to Malifaux. I always thought it was some weird little game no one really played, but I looked into the game, I bought a box, watched a lot of back reps and law. Now I've bought 2 full crews. Awesome, mate. I would love to see more people picking up Malifaux. I would love to see Malifaux grow in popularity. It's been around for about 10 years now. It's been around quite some time. It's not like a kind of like a little quiet new game type thing. Like I say, it's just I think Weird are certainly changing their marketing a little bit at the moment. I do feel they're opening themselves up to a little bit more marketing, and like I say, I've got an interview with Kyle. Kyle, who works for Weird, is kind of like their, don't know if he's like the head rules writer or if he's kind of chief rules writer. In fact, you know what it is, Kyle Rowan. I'm gonna Google and see what his official title is, and then at least I'm not kind of mispronouncing what he does. Let's have a look. He's design lead. So basically, he's the game design lead at Wyrdscapes. And if you see any of their board games, their new ones like Vagrant Song or Bayou Bash, he's been the designer of those games too. So yeah, so I've got an interview with Kyle on Friday, like I said before, Friday night actually, because of the time difference. He's over in Georgia, and I'm obviously in the UK, so there's like a 5-hour time difference. So we're doing it on Friday night, and then I'll get it all edited up and get it ready for you lot to watch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to chatting to Kyle, because like I say, you don't really see a lot of interviews with the guys from Wyrd. They kind of keep to themselves a little bit. They're quite quiet type thing. I've had a lot of email conversations with one of the owners as well. Seems like a really nice guy. Yeah, they seem like a nice bunch, but like I say, just quite quiet compared to some other companies when it comes to kind of sort of shouting about themselves. Let's have a little look. John says, I keep having to check if our mice have escaped with the squeaking go hobby noises. Sorry, mate. I will apologise and try and do that. Late Night says the rules and models are so thematic. These certainly are. I love the way that the rules are really built into the theme as well, or I should say the theme's built into the rules. I think it's a real plus. Not every game sort of has that, to be fair. Phony saying, I just got my first set of Malifaux models today. Beautiful minis. Which ones have you got, mate? Which crew did you go for? Jez says it's a multi-use kit, mind. You could use that in a fair few different games. There is that as well, mate. Yeah, it is a multi-use kit. Ed says £50 gets me practically a full kill zone of scenery. Is this equivalent to that? It's not, mate. It's one building, but I would say it's highly detailed. It's also it's from a company that's obviously trying something a little bit different. There's not many companies making full plastic scenery. I think there's always going to be a little bit of kind of sort of boutique tax, if you like. There's not a lot of companies making scenery like this, that kind of sort of quirky sort of buildings that I think Malifaux deserves. It's one of those things you either pay it or you don't. I'm not kind of saying anybody should go out and buy it, but it's I personally think it's nice stuff. It's in the lack of engagement from Wyrd competitive opponents. Yes. So yeah, it's pretty quiet. It's not so much like a lack of engagement. It's more they're just they're quite quiet. Like if you, how can I put it? If you are interested in the game and you know where to look, you'll find loads of information. Like Wyrd do. They do their app. Their app is fantastic. It's a free app. It's got all of the stats, all of the rules, all of the scenarios and everything on it. And on it as well is they post all of their blog news, and they post all of their free podcast kind of stories. They're like audio drama type things. And there's a new one on every week. So if you know where to look, you would say actually that they engage really well with the community. Unfortunately, if you don't know where to look, kind of thing, they're not the kind of company that you just stumble across, which I find is a little bit strange in that respect. So I think we can glue that into there now. Yeah, Busey's saying £50 not too bad for the qualities of the mouse in the house. Deep Red says, hail and well met, dear boy. I'm lurking in the background as I'm painting some 10mm dark elves. You're doing a cracking job of getting me in the zone. I'm glad that you're in the zone, mate. I'm just here just to get glue all over my fingers. That's not what I was intending to do. Use this little scrap of plastic here. Yeah, I should have had some tissue, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'm just here just to chill, just to hang out, just to relax. and have a bit of hobby chat. Dritz is saying it would need to be gold plated for me to part with £50 for one building. I think it just depends on what you normally buy, mate, to be fair. I mean, like I say, if you're buying sort of MDF terrain and stuff, you're probably still spending up like £30 or something like that for something of decent quality. So it just depends. Depends what you want. If you want kind of like mass market sci-fi stuff, you'll get it cheaper. It depends. The other side of it is Malifaux's played on a 3x3 board. You need less terrain. All those kind of things as well. All that kind of gets factored in. Marco, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well, fella. Christian sharing the link there for Patreon as well. Thank you very much, Christian. For those that's new here, this is my full-time job. This is what I do for a career now. And a lot of that is supported by you, the viewer. The fact that you folks like to watch something that's not necessarily mainstream, is something a little bit different. It's not just kind of clickbait videos to try and kind of trick the algorithm into recommending my videos to everyone. And if you do like that and you want to keep seeing this kind of stuff on YouTube, then please consider supporting me through Patreon. Thank you very much. Andrew Fairbanks, hello, mate. He says, hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Are you watching hockey tonight? Is somebody playing? Are you playing hockey? Is it family playing? Tall Martin, it would be nice if there was a proper Malifaux 2-player starter with 2 crews, 2 fate decks, and a short step-by-step guide. Do you know what it is, mate? They used to be a long time ago. And it was alright, actually. There's a new 2-player set coming out for the other side, which can be also used in Malifaux, but granted it is not necessarily a Malifaux 2-player starter set. There are some new starter sets now, which are kind of faction starter sets. I'm kind of halfway through filming some reviews of the ones I have. And they are great ways to get in. So if 2 players want to play, you pick up the 2 starter sets for the factions you like. The rules are free online. You get all of the starter decks and what they call the fate decks and stuff inside. So there are ways to do it. But I do get what you mean. I do like a starter set. I think as I mentioned on Monday's stream, I do like a starter set. And yeah, it would be nice if Malifaux did have one. But Malifaux is the kind of game where it has such an unusual aesthetic that it appeals to many different people. And I think a starter set would... You might get a lot of people just saying, oh, well, I don't like the crews that's in that starter set. It's not really my cup of tea type thing. So I wonder if that's why they don't do it so much. Blizzard saying, when I got into Malifaux back almost 5 years ago, there's practically nothing online for them. Now there's several YouTube channels, podcasts and communities. It's definitely improving all of the time, mate. When I first got into it, obviously the game was brand new. I think when I first found it online, when I was looking for a new game to play, I think Malifaux was literally like weeks old. I think it was pure luck that I found it. Because if I'd been looking like 6 weeks earlier, I don't think Malifaux existed. So when I first got into it, the website wasn't fantastic. It was really difficult to kind of see the different models that they had and stuff. But the aesthetic of the game really, really kind of intrigued me. So yeah, but it's improved a lot. It's definitely improved a lot. Let's have a little look here. Mark was saying, I put my painted Malifaux Nightmare Golem up for sale on eBay. If that sells, I'd like to get the new Halloween boxes. They look incredible. Yeah, I got last year's Halloween box, the Witches and Wars set, and I must admit, I do like them. And the beauty with those ones as well is they all come as single piece miniatures, so you don't even have to build them either. Phony says, I felt like painting some Halloween themed models and came across a box called Toil and Trouble. Toil and Trouble is this year's Witches and Wars version, the new Halloween one. An amazing cauldron and a bunch of pumpkins. Yeah, it's a really nice set, mate. Late Night says, Weird is good comparison to Infinity. Infinity does market it in so much better. Maybe because it's an EU company. I don't know, mate, to be honest. I mean, let's be honest, right? Like Malifaux has some really kind of like nice stuff to talk about. And I know they are trying to sort of branch out a bit more now, doing their streams and things, and certainly they speak to me like that they're engaging. They are starting to engage with like YouTubers and podcasters and things like that. And I don't think it's kind of a case of like intentionally avoiding them or anything, or not wanting to talk to them. I think it's probably like, we probably think of these companies as having like loads and loads of people, but they spend their time. I'll interrupt what I'm talking about here. I'm deciding whether I leave kind of leave the front off for now while I find out all the bits that go inside before I glue that on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So we've got the first part of the building done there. That bit there what I also like about this as well is they've put one of the fittings on the front and one of the fittings on the side. So what it means is when you come to fit it, you basically slide it in that way, and then it fits on there, as opposed to trying to kind of fit it the other way, so it goes in nice and solid there. So remind me, I haven't glued the front in there. I'm leaving that loose at the moment until I can find out how everything goes. We've got the roof there. Put that to one side, and then we'll start to cut out some of these bits as well. There's all sorts of stuff here. I must admit, trying to understand what everything is. I think if we build the roof next, and then we see what bits we've got left, that's probably the wisest move. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna be hoovering up for a million years here. You know, when you're scraping the bits of plastic off, you get the little white fluff stuff. Dritz is saying, Andy, please ask Malifaux if they ever plan to do a 2-player starter set. I will certainly ask that question, mate. VJ says, thank you for the new Discord channel. You are very welcome, mate. He says, it's been a bit of a rough patch, struggling to get out of bed to the hobby table today. Dude, you know where I am. Send me a message, mate, if you want to have a chat. I appreciate that. Obviously, the new channel in the Discord is there for everybody to use. But if there's anything you don't want to kind of post publicly, please just give me a shout, mate. You've always been an ear for me as well, so always happy to repay the favour. Jill says, you mean you don't have a video lined up how GW stole my baby and fed it to demons? I do have that video, Jill, but unfortunately it's been copyright strike because apparently my baby is now GW property and it's not my baby to talk about, so unfortunately I can't show that video. Jill says the old Malifaux starter set was great. Yeah, the old one was good actually. I remember that. I think it was for 2nd edition. I don't think it was for 1st. I think it was a 2nd edition one. Kath Smith, good evening, Kath. Says, E-up hooligans, my Andy just glued his RC car to the dining table. I'm busting out the paint to finish my Walking Dead minis. It sounds like you might be busting out the sanding paper to clean up the table. I hope he's got a cover on it. Tony Howell, hello to you, mate. How are you doing? Carl says, my wife plays the Brewmaster crew even, and I finally got my Yan Lo crew box. I had to play Misaki in the meantime. Very nice. I'm kind of I must admit, I'm sure as everybody knows, I'm a bit of a hobby butterfly, so I do kind of like sort of spread around my hobby love, if you like. That sounds awful, doesn't it? But I'm kind of flitting between a guild crew with... Sorry, I just got sidetracked there by what a pot that is. Oh, that's that. A guild crew with Lady Justice. I've got an explorers crew with Lord Cooper in it, and then I've also got a few other crews on the go as well, which I'll not go into because I've got far too much stuff really, and I should finish one project before I start the rest. But yeah, I must admit, I'm flitting about, and a lot of the reason I flit about is not like play style and stuff. Just like painting the minis, basically. I just think they're really cool, and I very often when I'm sitting painting Malifaux stuff, I pop on like the Breachside broadcast, which is the podcast I was talking about before that we'd do. I quite often pop it on and listen to the stories about the characters that I'm sitting painting and stuff, and I do get kind of like sort of enthralled and engaged in the whole thing. I'm sure people do the same thing with like 40k and that, and it's not my bag, but I completely understand why folks enjoy it. So I do understand why people kind of love reading the Black Library stuff. Right. What the hell was that one? Andrew Berry pledged on Patreon. Thank you very much, Andrew. Really do appreciate that. I've just realised you keep getting the top of my shaved head there as well. I'll try to keep my bald head out of the way for you. So yeah, I completely understand why folks love the kind of the Black Library stuff and things, but I get that kind of. I think it's just the world of Malifaux is more my bag really. So yeah, I think my honest opinion is if I could only ever play one game or only ever buy miniatures for one game again. That's not my style. I like to buy for lots of different things. But if I could only buy for one game and only listen to kind of sort of audio books or read stories for one universe, it would be Malifaux, hands down. I just love the world of it. I love playing loads of different games though, so I'd never just limit myself to one. But yeah, if it could only be one, it would be that one. Let's have a little look thing in here. Ed saying, dumb thing is that RPG is quite popular here. I'm a big fan of the RPG stuff, mate. So for those that don't know, basically the world of Malifaux is also in an RPG, basically called Through the Breach. And I've got a load of the RPG books purely based upon the fact that I love reading the kind of the background stories in the world of Malifaux. I recently purchased on, is it called Drive Through RPG? I recently went back and purchased all of the old Malifaux rule books, like sort of version 1 and version 2, and all the expansions and stuff. They were super cheap by just like PDF versions, purely just to go back and read the stories again, because I had the books years ago, and then when I stopped playing, I never really played second edition, so I didn't buy any of those books. But I kind of stopped playing at the end of first edition, really, as second edition came in. And I then sold the books, basically. I sold them to kind of like fund my next sort of projects. So I bought them all on PDF to basically purely just to read the stories and stuff. And I think it cost me I think it was like £5 for all of the PDFs. It wasn't particularly expensive. So yeah, it's nice to have those just to flick back to. Andrew saying, I'm a Pens fan, Pittsburgh Penguins, until a team moves to Houston. Played last night, just one of the many North American sports to be lucky to have, because my college football team, LSU, sucks. Hockey's not something I've really spent a lot of time watching before. I mean, when I say I don't understand it, I do understand it. Like, I know exactly what you have to do, but like, it's not something that we see a lot of in the UK. There is local ice hockey teams and stuff. So it is a sport that's played in the UK, but it's not something you see on TV very often. And as far as American sports go, it's probably the one that we see now. Actually, if I'll be honest, we probably see the least of baseball. We see very little baseball in the UK, where we don't really have baseball teams in the UK, but we do have like ice hockey teams and basketball teams and American football teams. Tony's not hobbying tonight. So I felt like a break, but definitely doing the stream. Tony, you are always, mate, welcome to just to come and hang out, pop your feet up, mate, get yourself a cup of tea, just come and chill, talk about horror films and bacon sandwiches, all the usual ramble that we normally do, mate. Dave's Mini Menagerie says, I'm thinking about picking up the Lord Cooper box, or the Mexican family, the Ortegas. Yes, the Ortegas are a nice box. So nice models in there. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Lord Cooper box. I've painted all my Lord Cooper stuff up. I've still got English Ivan left to paint. I'm just looking over my shelf now to see if I can see it. I've got a few. To be honest, I've got far too much to paint. I should really stop getting stuff and just stop finishing what I started. But yeah, but who does that? Who does that? Let's have a little look. Jill saying, yeah, it was second edition, that's right, for the starter box. Late Night says, I just bought Cooper, awesome faction. You'll need the On the Hunt set too. Yeah, I've got the On the Hunt set, mate, as well. I've got quite a lot of the Explorers faction, and I've also got the Explorers Society, the lore book as well, like the faction book. I'm loving reading all of the backstories and things. Blizz was saying, yeah, the old 2-player starter was second edition, Guild versus Netherborn. I can't remember what models were in it, if I'm honest, but I do remember the starter set. I would never have remembered it was Guild and Netherborn. Michael Cowan, good evening to you, mate. Nice to see you in. I hope you're well, my friend. Jess says he's got to sort the Discord thing after joining the Patreon, but no time to lurk until this TV thing's finished. So not looking into it till then. You all look forward to getting you into Patreon, mate. Into the Patreon chat, I should say. Thank you for joining the Patreon, but I look forward to getting you into the chat as well. It's funny because when I had another job before I started doing this full time, I would instead of sitting doing my job, I'd be sitting on the Patreon chatting to everyone. And then now this is my job. I have less time to sit and chat on the Patreon. So I do get in there every day, or I certainly try to get in there at least every other day and kind of say morning to everybody and see what's happening. And I'm the only admin for the chat, so I obviously try and kind of make sure that there's nothing untoward going on. Although to be fair, I trust you lot. You're always a good bunch in that Patreon. But it's a nice hangout place. I really enjoy the Patreon for our Discord. I really enjoy the Discord for our Patreon chat, because there is lots of hobby chat and everyone's sharing what they're up to and what they're painting and what projects they're getting on with. But then people chat about kind of, if they're having a bad day, they'll come and vent a little bit. If there's sort of some TV show they're watching they want to talk about, they'll come and have a chat. It's just like a nice place kind of like to hang out with like-minded people, really. If people are wanting a little bit of advice on a sort of modelling project or something, they always know that there's going to be somebody in there who'll be able to help them out. It's a nice place to hang out, mate. Carl says, yeah, the models... I'm sorry, I just keep seeing... There's a delay on my screen, so then I keep looking forward and then seeing the top of my head. I promise I'll try and keep it out of there. I'm just getting a bit comfy, so I end up leaning forward. Sorry. Carl saying, yeah, the models are a pleasure to paint, as are all models, but for that reason I'm eyeing up the Colette Dubois and the Maxine Gaz's crew. Colette Dubois was my first ever crew. I played the Showgirls crew for quite some time, and I used to love playing with the Showgirls and the Coryphée, and I had a convict gunslinger who was my kind of my sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, mercenary kind of addition into my crew. So yeah, Colette Dubois was my first ever Malifaux models, or certainly her and her crew were. Yeah, happy days. Tasty Brain Drain says, yeah, Drive Through RPG. I just jumped off my screen. Let me find it again. Great site. Although save my wallet, I don't normally visit it. Yeah, I was to be honest, I prefer sort of actual sort of physical books to read. I find them easier to read than looking at a screen. But obviously, so I was looking on eBay and stuff, looking for the second-hand stuff. But when I did the search, I found out that they were all in digital form on there, and I couldn't believe the price. It seemed madness not to pick them up. So, Christian sharing a link there as well for the OG BlackJack Legacy T-shirts and hoodies and merch. Thank you very much, mate. As you can see, I'm not wearing one tonight. I'm just wearing a shirt. But yeah, I tend to do is to make sure I'm kind of in work mode. I normally wear a BlackJack Legacy T-shirt every day. I've got obviously loads of them that I've bought over time. And I normally wear one every day, a bit like a work uniform. So when I get up and I get showered and I put my BlackJack Legacy T-shirt on, or my BlackJack hoodie or something, and that's kind of like my uniform really, and it kind of gets me in the right frame of mind. It's just because I've been to hospital this afternoon for some more tests, so that's why I'm not wearing my work gear, if you like. I'm clipping all these bits off now. I'll be honest, I've got no idea where all these bits go. I'll have to start looking into the picture and see how it comes together. But they're clipping out really nice. There's some nice kind of sort of tabs on them to get the clippers into. There's nothing. It's not like sort of cutting away at it and things. There's some little bits of. There's loads of bits of metallic bars and things. I'm assuming some of them go into the sides of the walls and things. So we'll have to wait up, or maybe I'll have to search online and see if I can see any sort of 3D images of it all finished. Phony says, right, you guys have me in the mood to paint. Need to try and get my Abomination Widowers done for Wild West Exodus. I must admit, I'm looking forward to Wild West Exodus 3rd edition coming. I had a conversation with the folks from War Cradle last week about Wild West Exodus 3rd edition, so I'm looking forward to hearing more as well. But yeah, Wild West Exodus has got a similarly sort of unusual storyline around it, and I must admit the War Cradle resins and their new plastics, to be fair, I always find them really, really nice. I don't know if anybody saw, I think it was either today or yesterday, War Cradle announced their new terrain range that's coming out in conjunction with the new 3rd edition, and that looks super nice as well. You can certainly use that for Malifaux as well. It's kind of like Wild West, or sort of like Western Frontier sort of inspired terrain. So yeah, some cool stuff there. Right, let's see how this all fits together, because it looks like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle at the moment. So what we've got is we've got this roof section here, which I'm guessing that's obviously going to, I would imagine that goes on the inside. Let me get rid of some of these sprues. We've got a bit of space. Let's have a look in the chat as well while we're going. Johnson, I love a bit of baseball on BT Sport. It's great. Nothing happens for ages then. Sounds something exciting. It's a nice one to paint to. Couldn't paint along to the NFL. I agree, actually. I don't think I could paint to the NFL. The adverts drive me insane, I'll be honest. But I like to kind of actually watch it and listen to what's going on when it comes to the NFL stuff. Is that? I'm trying to... that obviously doesn't go that way. Is that? Trying to see how this all fits together. Does that? Does that? That would probably fit better to be that way around. Okay, so we know that bit. So maybe that's the way it goes. These I know are the roof sections. So that looks like it's that one. And that looks like it's that one, or that one, because it's got a chimney at the back. That's those. That little square chimney there comes out of there at some angle. Right, so that definitely comes out of there. Oh, that's just pushing, fitting into there. That's all right. There's another chimney comes up the. I'm assuming that comes up the back of there. Wow, this is going to be a nice little jigsaw puzzle. We'll see how it all goes together. I think we've got those two sections. Ah, so they go onto the edges of those. That's it. And that's why it's not quite. I was thinking it's not quite wide enough to go across that. Piece, but then these side sections will go onto there. So that makes sense now. Yeah, apologies if I go quiet. This is one of those builds where it's like, how does that go together again? And that bit's obviously so that bit there is definitely the back. So that goes into there. Or maybe it goes into that way around. That goes into there. And that bit goes into there. Okay, so that's the roof sort of structure, if you like, the truss. Let me get rid of some of these little bits, because they obviously don't. We'll get rid of that chimney. Got all these little bits of walls and things. Let's have a little look in the chat first before I crack on a bit more. Peter says, I have 2,144 models to paint. Ouch. Bliss says, Dr. Grimwell, Nurse, Heatsby, and 2 orderlies for Guild. Is that what was in it, mate? I never remember that. Marcus says, stop buying stuff until you finish painting everything else. What kind of reasonable psycho does that? Tony says, it's a nice looking kit. I'm taking my time with the Tillinghast Manor. It's quite complex, but worth taking the time. I saw your picture today, mate. It's lush how it's all coming together. It really does look amazing. So that will fit like that on there. So that will fit together like that and glue together. And then I assume, will that fit over like a nice snug? No idea. We'll get to it though. We'll get to it. And we've got all these bits as well. Because along this side, oh, there is some pictures of there's some pictures on the side and things. Because there's obviously bits. There's bits kind of hang out the side of this as well. There's kind of like sort of signs hang off here. There's obviously some shelves going here, so I think that looks like that goes into there. That comes like a sort of structure, and then there's some bits of signs and thing hang off the side there. That's part of the roof section. There's obviously a shelf or something goes in here, which I think is that. That is definitely that. So I'll tell you what we'll do while I'm while I'm finding a piece I know where it goes. We'll do that bit. Andy Smith, hello mate. He says, so sponge RC tyre gone in the bin. Table has recovered. How we're all doing. How many patrons did you lose for having a week off? Do you know what it is, mate? I probably lost about. I mean, it was a bit more than a week in fairness. But it's amazing how YouTube reacted to me taking a bit of time off. It's kind of pretty much stopped recommending my videos completely. And my Patreon has gone down from about 108 to about 96 or something like that. So yeah, my Patreon has took a little bit of a kicking this last month, but I was in hospital, mate. What can I do? I can't really help that. So yeah. But yeah, it took a little bit of a dip. But it's a long game, mate. It's a long game. If I worry about every up and down, I'll be a very stressed person. So, Jill says we do try to behave ourselves. Yes, you do, and succeed mostly. Oh man, it's because I'm chatting about old stuff now. Let me catch up with the chat for a bit first. Blizzard saying bunch of half bloods for Neverborn. Can't remember their names. No, I can't remember their names either. Peter Stockdale, good evening, mate. Jess is saying looking forward to hanging out. Nice one, fella. Michael said he's good. Hope you are too. Missed a couple of streams and working. Not hobbying tonight. That's alright, mate, as long as you're having a nice chilled night. John says I never look at Discord while I'm working. Yeah, it might be a little bit career damaging for you, mate. Busey saying don't mention Boris Johnson in the Discord and it's all good. Yeah, I try to we try to keep away from kind of religion and politics, really. Don't really want to upset people over that kind of stuff. If they've got different viewpoints, so be it. But we're all just hobbyists. We're all just kind of, we have similar interests. Let's talk about the similar interest stuff. Tony saying, yeah, we're generally a good place to hang. You don't see big screaming nasties. It's a safe place to be in Discord. I think so, mate. I do think so. Late night. Anyone recommend some good Western themed terrain for Malifaux? I'm looking at Sarissa, but it's 28 mil. I would suggest, mate, if you take a look at the War Cradle Scenics, they do some good Wild West terrain, which is obviously designed for Wild West Exodus, but fits really well with Malifaux stuff. And I can also recommend Corvus Games Terrain, who do sort of 3D printed terrain. They sell the files so you can print them yourself. However, they do have kind of like partners on Etsy who sell their terrain pre-printed as well. So check out Corvus Games Terrain. I'm looking over here. I've got like a saloon that I printed off myself. In fact, let me go and get it and I'll show you it. Excuse me. So, if you can still hear me, folks, while he dashes back across the room, this, in fact, if I pop it up on the main screen here, this is the saloon that I printed off from Corvus Games Terrain. It's just been primed brown. I've not got around to painting it yet. You can print it with the windows kind of filled in or open. You can print it with floors in the bottom as well if you want to, but I just did it to save on plastic. But the roof does come off and stuff, and as you can see inside where it's got, let me do it so it zooms into that and not me. But yeah, it's a really nice build, nice kind of Wild West saloon type stuff, and eventually it will see the table for Malifaux and for Wild West Exodus. What the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gluing in the shelves on the side, wasn't I? That's right. Let's have a little look. Phony says new box for Wild West Exodus goes on pre-order this Friday, I think. Yeah, I think it's going up soon, mate. Yeah. Jill says, are you telling me this £50 kit didn't include instructions? It doesn't include instructions. And late night saying they'll be on the website. They are not on the website, mate. I have looked. There is no instructions online for these. But to be honest, I mean, there's quite a few bits. But there's plenty of photos online and stuff, so I'll be able to work it out. It's just I'm trying to do that while I'm streaming as well. That's the problem. Andy Smith says, do the Wild West or Malifaux company send you stuff to review? They do, mate, to be fair. I mean, this was sent from Weird to have a look at. They basically just send me stuff now and again. There's no kind of expectations from them. They don't expect reviews. They don't kind of put any, I don't sign any kind of like sort of what's it called? I don't sign any NDAs or anything with them. They just sort of say like oh, what's that? Late Night donated to the chat. Thank you very much. He says, oh, nice. Call this a finder's fee. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, mate. Yes, Corvus Games Terrain is where you want to check out. Yeah, they basically they sent me an email some time ago and just said, some of our staff are big fans of your channel, really like what you do, would kind of love to send you a few bits kind of thing for you to check out. So they've never kind of, they never insist I do reviews. They never chase me up to go, we sent you this terrain thing or something. I've had this for ages and never got round to it yet. They never kind of like sort of chase me and say sort of like you must do this, we're expecting you to do that kind of thing. They just want to kind of support what I do, really. And to be fair, the Wild West Exodus, the War Cradle guys, they I've got a decent relationship with them as well. They've sent me stuff in the past. They'll probably send me stuff in the future as well. So some companies are really like, there's probably about 3 or 4 companies I would say who are really, really supportive and just kind of, they appreciate. I mean, I'm not getting sort of like 30,000-40,000 views kind of thing. It's not like, it's kind of like, from a marketing point of view, I'm sure there's better ways to spend their money than sending me things. But they kind of just want to support channels that don't just cover all the big stuff, really. And it's quite nice. There's about 3 or 4 companies I would say, like obviously Mantic are one, Weird Games are certainly one as well. War Cradle. Who else? Is there anybody else sends bits and pieces? The Corvus Belly have sent little bits and pieces in the past and stuff. Not that often, but then I guess I don't really talk about their stuff that often either. I'm looking on my shelf to see what's really being sent or anything like that. It's probably about it, to be fair. Those are probably the main companies that send stuff. Steamforge have sent me stuff in the past. I'm looking around see if there's anything else. No, that's probably the bulk of it, really. Everything else I kind of just buy for myself, really. It's what the sort of the money the Patreons send as well. Any kind of ad revenue that I get from sort of Amazon, it pays me a kind of a very small wage, but a wage nonetheless, and allows me to kind of invest some of that back into the channel as well. So yeah, that's how it works, really. Nobody pays me. I don't get sort of paid for reviews. Some channels do get kind of sponsored videos, if you like, and they'll be paid money to sort of look at stuff. I've kind of made a stance that I'll never be paid to kind of review a product, and I've kind of stood to that, really. So Beauty says they are added extra £10 for instructions. Tiberius, hello mate, how are you doing? He says Perry Miniatures have 2 building sets that would fit as well. I've not seen them, mate, so thank you for recommending. Christian saying, get your merch and stuff. Thank you very much, mate. Those are some new stuff. If you're UK based, those are some really nice merch. Nice kind of caps, beanies, hoodies, that kind of stuff as well. Let's have a little deep red. I'm like number 30. Still here. Told you I make a bad spell. That's all right, mate. Ortega says, can't stay, but hope it's going well. Hello, Ortega. Nice to see you, mate. Ed saying, Corvus have some lovely bases too. I'm busy printing off some Corvus stuff, actually. Yeah, I really like the stuff that they do. Johnson, I reckon these companies, they know the BlackJackers are all potential customers, whereas a 40k channel that might have way more views, only a fraction might be interested. Tasty Brain Drain says, you're blurry. You're getting blurry. I'm sure it's your eyes, mate, is it? Let's have a look on the big screen. Is it not focused back onto me? Is that what it is? It's focusing on my hand there. There we go. Yeah, it's focusing. It looks fine to me. Looks alright. I don't know if it's if it wasn't before, maybe. Dave's Mini says, where do you buy your Malifaux stuff from in the UK? To be honest, mate, I've bought it from Goblin Gaming. I've bought a little bit from Wayland in the past. Firestorm Games I've bought from. Is there anybody else? I think those are probably the main ones I've bought from, to be fair. But Goblin Gaming, I've got like affiliate links with them and stuff like that, so I tend to use Goblin Gaming for most of my stuff. Ed says, would you do a sponsored learn to play video, or would you be a step too far? I would do, mate, if it was a case of like, if somebody said, will you make us a how to play video, and we'll use it on our own channel. So, for example, let's use Games Workshop. If Games Workshop said, will you do a how to play 40k video that we can... I'm saying this because it would never, ever happen. That's why I'm saying it. If you could do a how to play a 40k video, then we will show it on our channel. Then I see that as me being paid to do a job. It's not like I'm not sort of being paid to showcase something on my own channel kind of thing. So I would do that kind of stuff. If somebody wanted to do like a specific sponsored video, like around something else, I'd have to kind of look at it really. But as long as I'm not being sort of paid to give an opinion, then it's a bit different. But I like to kind of stay independent, really. I don't mind doing stuff for other channels. That's me just being a freelancer kind of. It's a bit like somebody writing rules for somebody kind of thing. So there is a kind of a line that I'd kind of draw, really. Luke says, evening. Good evening to you, mate. Late night saying Firestorm seem to have a lot of stock. Yeah, Firestorm's pretty good. They're a big company as well. Right, I've kind of caught up with a chat now, I think. So I can get back to trying to see how all this stuff goes together. So around the side here, in fact, let me... I've got some pictures, I think. I've got some kind of... So inside, there's some kind of barrels and things to go in there. So we'll have a look at those. Down the side, have a look. So down here, there's a all of these little. In fact, that's not helpful, is it? You can't really see that. All these bits are kind of like metallic sort of stuff. They all seem to go down to these bits on here. So we'll cut them out, and then that'll give us something else to glue in. If I keep gluing bits in, then the less bits I've got left over, really. Dave saying, cheers for the suggestions. You are very welcome, mate. You are very welcome. Yeah, I mean, Malifaux's not... It's not the hardest thing. I think the sort of Wild West Exodus is a bit more difficult to kind of to pick up. There's not so many shops stock that. But certainly Malifaux seems to be stocked in most of the major stores these days. So what's everybody painting tonight then? We've got a little bit of stuff. We've got a few more people in the chat now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. It would be very, very helpful if you would. It basically just gives YouTube a little nudge that people are enjoying things. If you haven't already liked the video and you're enjoying the stream, please do give it the thumbs up. I know I sound like I'm kind of pimping myself out here, but you'd be surprised what difference it makes. If I actually ask people to subscribe and to like the video, you'd be surprised that they actually go and do it. Where if I don't say it, sometimes folks just don't really bother. So yeah, I might sound like a broken record, but if you don't ask, you don't get, as they say. Marco's got some more paint on Magneto. I'm loving your Marvel stuff, mate. Like, I'm assuming, are you painting those for a commission, or are they for yourself? Peter says Blitzkrieg Germans, the canteens on them. Marcus is building these Halloween painting challenge diorama. What's the painting challenge for, mate? Is it for a group that you're in? Is it for a local club? Is it for a competition? Luke says he's got the first edition Dead Zone terrain primed. Just need to figure out how to put it all together. If only someone would make over it. I never prime mine before I put it together, mate. I find it takes too long because there's so much in individual pieces to prime it like as individual bits. So yeah, I tend to do it. That's why I tend to glue it together and then prime it afterwards. Because I can prime it and paint it sort of just like with zenithal painting, really. Right, that's those bits. I'll clean them up. Apologies for any squeaks that we get again here. Late Night says I'm painting Jedda's Crew, basically Final Fantasy minis. Nice. I was just chatting about Final Fantasy at the weekend with my son. We were chatting about JRPG games. That's why we were chatting about Final Fantasy. Tony says, no doing a thing other than enjoying hanging out with you lot. That's the way to do it, mate. Do you know what it is? Like, I think a lot of times, all of the anger on the internet and all of the drama and all of the GW this and NDAs that and all of that kind of anger that seems to surface online when it comes to our hobby. I think people seem to miss the bit that we all do this because it brings us a lot of enjoyment and joy, and we have fun, and you know, that's what it's all about. And that's kind of what I try to encourage. It's like, obviously I'm never going to be one of those sort of 100,000 subscriber channels, and I'm not going to be making sort of videos that get 50, 60,000 views or anything like that, especially not with the stuff I talk about. But if I can kind of, you know, if I get a few people just to put a smile on their face, surely that's worth it, isn't it? Michael says, I'm painting the email server red with the blood of people sending me stupid emails. I'm sure you're not cursing them at all, mate, are you? I always remember the IT guy I used to work with basically saying about picnic problems. Saying, was it problem in chair, not in computer. That was it. That was what picnic stood for. Yeah, problem in chair, not in computer. Tizzy Brain Drain says, no painting, going back and forth between work and playing Terraforming Mars on Steam. The joys of working at home. I'm sure that's exactly what they had in mind when everybody started working from home for the pandemic. Just think of all the board games they could play. Christian sharing the link there as well. If you are shopping at Goblin Gaming, there is an affiliate link there. I do make a small commission if you shop through it. However, you do not pay any more. Whatever the price on the website is, you pay that price. And I make a really small commission just for sending you in their direction. So if you don't have a local shop that you can support, or maybe Goblin Gaming have the product in a little bit cheaper than you can get elsewhere, they generally do 20% off most things. Please do check them out. Scott Webster, good evening, mate. How are you doing? So he was painting these Witches and Wars covens, but my bulb packed in and I have to stop. I remember when my bulb packed in as well when I was on. I think I was on a painting stream when it happened. Oh no, I wasn't. I wasn't, because I remember the smell was unbelievable. But yeah, I've done the clever thing now when I have spare bulbs ready to go in case it ever happens again. Carl says he's rolling some bases for his Yan Lo crew using Green Stuff World rollers and some Sculptry Grey. Very nice, mate. I'm a big fan of those Green Stuff World stuff. The mics are out again, John. Ed's taking a break, but he was doing his Grey Knights for Kill Team. Doing the Falchions set first. Got to love those re-rolls. I'm not familiar with the rules of them, mate, but I must admit I do like the Grey Knights. I've painted up some Grey Knights in the past, and is it Castellan Crow? I think is there. I don't think he's like the Primarch, but he's like one of the leaders, isn't he? I remember painting up that model. So yeah, I'm not completely oblivious to 40k. Tasty Brain Drain saying Terraforming Mars is an awesome board game. I've never played it, mate. I've never played it. I don't really know much about it. I'm aware of how popular it is, but I don't know much about it. Luke says, I can't remember the last time I primed pre-assembly, but I thought it might make it a bit easier on the painting. Yeah, I've seen other people doing that as well, and I think what they found, and I don't know whether you'll find it yet, what they find is the paint gets into the little holes where you put the pins, and then none of the pins fit anymore, so you end up having to go back and kind of get like a little file or something and scraping or sort of filing it in the holes where the pins go, because now they're too tight. So hopefully you don't encounter that, mate. If you've primed first, I hope you don't come up against that problem. Blizzard's painting 11 zombies and a lone survivor Walking Dead. I think some of these are from the Prelude to Woodbury set. Yeah, most of my stuff kind of ended up just getting all mixed up and stuff, and I've got no idea what set things are from, and I put all the cards together and all that. I've still got all the boxes that came with the Kickstarter, but I don't think I'd ever be able to get them back in the right boxes again, that's for sure. Right, let's see if... do these look like... so it looks like these have little sort of foot plate things that they fit into. They're on there. We'll see which sprue they're on. That looks like barrels. It's not them. It could be those. No, I don't think it's those. Let's have a little look over here. Whoops. Is it these things? Well, that looks like the front step, so we can cut that one off while we're looking. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's a lovely building, but I must admit some instructions would have gone down the street. It's certainly not helping not having instructions. I mean, there may well be instructions online, but I'll be honest, I did search for them and I couldn't find them. So, I apologise if I'm slating these for not having instructions, and there are some, but I could not find them when I searched. Let's have a little look. Tulmot says, yeah, I'm in the Discord. Nice one, mate. Jill says, paint up the last of a 10mm dwarf stash. Was trying to keep it, but the heart wants what the heart needs. What the head needs. You are not wrong, Jill. So, what game are you going to be playing with them, Jill? I must admit, I saw you were doing a lot of 10mm stuff, but I don't remember what game it's for. Mark was saying the Spider Foes were a commission. Magneto's for his own collection. As to the drama, the only one is for those who bought GW stocks a few weeks back. Yeah, my God, yeah, they have dropped a little bit, haven't they, recently? I haven't seen the actual numbers, but I had saw that the GW stocks took a little bit of a hit. So I did see that GW is starting to do that thing now, where basically they're doing kind of a sort of a pre-order promise. If you pre-order by the Monday, I think, when something new goes up for sale, they're promising everybody you'll get a copy of it, which I think is a nice move. But I guess that the way they're still kind of creating that fear of missing out thing by saying, well, but if you don't pre-order it by the Monday, like, we can't guarantee anything. So they've managed to solve the problem and create another problem at the same time, I suppose. Carl says it's an OSI layer 8 problem in IT. I'll need to find out what that means, mate. Vijay says, when I was younger, it was a PEBCAC problem, exists between chair and keyboard. Yeah, it was the picnic one the guy always used to tell me. Problem in chair, not in computer. I love those kind of things. Right, we're just gluing the front doorstep in place, because I know where that goes, because it's a doorstep. Andy says, Cat's painting the Malifaux Japanese birds. Nice to see a bit more Malifaux going on. Oh, that I forgot that front section's not glued in either, is it? So I'm gluing these bits on and that one's not done. You've got 7 OSI layers, the 8 is the user. There you go, mate. That'll explain it. Dave's saying, tonight I'm picking up some Underworlds minis I've converted to Santa's helpers. Awesome, mate. I'd love to see those. Luke says, that did not occur to me. We shall see. I'm going to sit and put some together now, so we'll know if my next message is lots of swear words. Jill says, not for any game, just they help me the best when depression is bad. I'm sorry to hear that, Jill. That kind of like that you need that little pick up now and again. But it's good that you kind of know what your sort of your get out is, if you like. You know what sort of what gets you back on the right keel, if you like, on the right road. I think I have found those bits. It is these things here. I think they are the little plugs for the bottom. So we'll clip those out. Just is the right amount of detail, but also quick to finish. It feels like I'm achieving something. Do you know what it is? I preach about this all the time, but that sense of achievement of just finishing something, it doesn't have to be the best work you've ever done. Not that I'm saying yours is not, Jill. I'm not speaking about you specifically. But it doesn't have to be the best work that you've done. It just needs to be finished. The amount of like enjoyment you get, like the psychology of humans. I'm going to go all deep now. The psychology of humans about how we like to be challenged and we like to solve problems is quite interesting, really. So it's one of the reasons why we enjoy board games. It's one of the reasons we enjoy doing puzzles. It's why we like doing kind of crosswords and that type of thing. If you had sort of millions of pounds and you never had a care in the world, you become basically a bit bored because you've got nothing to challenge you. There's nothing you can't do. Kind of like life just becomes a little bit meaningless, if you like. So actually, like the true kind of like path to happiness, if you like, is about actually having problems, but not having problems too big that you can't kind of like overcome them. Because it's the having a problem and solving it. It's the enjoyment you get as a human by solving the problem that kind of motivates you and puts a smile on your face. So yeah, it's kind of, that's why we like hobbying. It's why we do like sort of paint things and have creative pursuits and stuff, and it's just about solving problems basically. So yeah, those little bits go into there. We'll glue those in. There's my my deep and meaningful 5 minutes for the night. Tall Martin, yeah, Jill, I get that too. Jess says a quick win is a good thing. A little bit of endorphins is a grand moment. Tony says I was asked to get involved in a Reaper Challenge League large group thing, so my next mini will be that. It's Victorian themed and I'm doing Vanessa Ives from Penny Dreadful. Nice, mate. Me likes a lot. Right, we'll glue these bits in. I'm assuming that you haven't got the top of my ball heat again. We'll just get that bit. Want a bit of glue in there. I do like these contactor glues with the little needles on. That's why I like working with plastic more than metal or resin, to be fair, because you can just use plastic glue and I don't glue my fingers together. Late Night says it's the Lisa Simpson line of I like challenges, but challenges I can do. Exactly, mate. Honestly, that's like it's why people like to kind of sort of to set themselves things to do it. It's why I like to do those kind of challenges with my kind of groups and things like that. It's not about being the best at something. It's just about achieving something at the end of it. If you can do a challenge and feel like you've achieved something by the end, like that's a win in itself, isn't it? That's what I like to try and do with my Facebook group and the Patreons and stuff as well. We're overdue a challenge, actually. We need to get a new one set up. Dan Hughes, you legend. How are you doing, mate? A long time no speak. Achievable goals are the way to go, 100%. That's it, mate. That's why when you've got problem, just sort of like work on little bite-sized chunks. That way you'll always achieve bits and you get the motivation to move on. It's why when I used to be a project manager, you break things up into small goals and sort of bits you can do a bit at a time. How are you doing, Dan? I hope you're well, mate. I thought you might have been heading out to Essen, actually. I saw you say that Cora Quest is getting demoed out there. I thought you might have been out there yourself. Tony says Revel Contactor is excellent. That and the Tamiya Thin I've never used the Tamiya thin stuff. I'm kind of a bit less fussy when it comes to super glue. I tend to use either like Gorilla Glue, or at the minute I've been using some of this as well. I got some sent to try, and I've actually found it really good. The colour Forge super glue, it works really well as well. So I've been using that as well. Marcus says, now I understand the value of this kit. Great quality plastic, sweet design, and it doubles as a puzzle. There you go. See. I am quite enjoying the puzzle side of it, if I'm honest. Late Night says, this is why I like skirmish games over full army games, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, there are some like kind of army games I like. Like, I'm a big fan of Kings of War. And like the feeling you get of sort of finishing a big army is a nice feeling when it's all done. But yeah, there's a nice enjoyment to kind of just finishing a small skirmish crew, if you like. Dan says, I'm good, busy but good. Not been tuning in for a while, as I have probably temporarily lost my mini painting mojo. I hadn't realised you were now a self-help guru. I tell you what, mate, I kind of just do whatever. I'm really good at giving out other people advice, mate. I'm less good at listening to my own advice. So, yeah, it's dead easy for me to tell people what they should do. It's not so easy for me to listen to my own advice and do it myself. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta kind of let the mini painting disappear, mate. Just have a break from it. It'll come back when you feel like it. You'll find some minis that you really that really kind of float your boat, and you'll want to put paint on them. Until then, div not worry, mate. Div not worry. Busey saying like plastic glue smells nice. Nice is a funny concept, isn't it? It depends what you mean by nice. Gets you high? Yes, maybe. Christian sharing the Amazon link as well. Thank you very much, mate. Again, it's an affiliate link, folks. Again, you don't pay any more than what you see on Amazon, but if you click through the link, again, I make a small commission for introducing you to shopping at Amazon, like it was come from me. Luke says, they certainly are snug, but I think I got away with it. Whew, phew. Dan saying, Essen felt a bit too much of a hassle. I can imagine that, mate. I think my first con will be Aircon in March next year. Yeah, I saw the tickets had gone on sale for that, mate. I might well make an appearance myself, actually, and just come and play some games. I enjoyed UK Games Expo, so I might well make an appearance at Aircon. I also met... oh, God, my head's gone blank now. Oh, no, I forget what I was going to say now. Blizzard saying he dropped a pic in the Discord of the minis from the second Ed player set. Thanks, mate, I'll have a check there. Dan says you were talking to a mental health professional who spends all day telling people what to do and then go home and don't think a single word of my advice. Yes, that's it, mate. I tell you what, I'm a millionaire in my if I listen to my own advice, I'd be a millionaire. But I don't. So right, let's have a look on here. I'm looking for a little kind of bracket thing that hangs off the side. There's some awesome bits on there. I've got no idea what some of it is, but there's some awesome bits. Late Night says plastic glue smells of pear drops, or is that just him? I don't know about pear drops, mate. I'll have to give it a whiff, and we'll judge it for ourselves. Dave says he's off to Salute show in November. Do you know what, mate? I must admit, I was looking at Salute. Now, I did say a little while ago that I was never going to go again for a number of reasons. But because I've kind of missed shows, and I've missed the whole networking thing because of COVID and lockdowns and stuff, I must admit, from a work perspective of getting out and speaking to companies face to face and stuff, because UK Games Expo was great fun, just getting to meet up with people like Luke and just play games and stuff like that. And obviously I play with Marco as well. It's always nice just to meet folks and play some games. But from a business point of view, from me actually getting to speak to companies and stuff, a lot of folks didn't go. It was probably a little bit too early in the kind of recovery, shall we say, for some companies. So there wasn't a lot in regards to kind of business opportunities. So I appreciate that sounds a little bit wonky, but it's my job. You know what I mean? I have to try. I'm not good at that marketing side of stuff, so I do have to try and get better at it. Right, let's have a little look and see how this fits in here. Does that fit on there? Ah, so that fits onto there. You see that? That's quite a nice little. So that fits in the top of there, and that fits onto there, which is nice. And it looks like there might be another one for the other side as well, or certainly at least. Oh, there is. That's it there. So there's a little kind of, oops, hitting the microphone, little post thing there. Dan says, I keep getting tempted to buy a resin printer and getting to doing dioramas and stuff. I think I'm a bit bored of painting people. Do you know what, mate? I've got a resin printer now, and I've also got a plastic printer as well. My plastic printer has been printing non-stop for about 2 weeks now, literally night and day. And it's still got quite some time to go. I'm busy printing an entire 3x3 sort of New York subway station from Wyrdscapes, and who I mentioned before. The file itself was like £9 or something like that, and it's amazing the amount of stuff that you get inside it. So I'm busy printing off that feverishly. But I'm really enjoying it, I'll be honest. I'm really looking forward to seeing the project coming together. So right, so that dips into there. We'll get that one in. Dave saying he's quite excited. It's my first show I'm going to. I'll tell you what, mate, if you've never been before, you will enjoy it. I'll tell you the reason I said I wasn't going to go again was because I'd been so many times, and I felt that it wasn't improving. It wasn't sort of. I couldn't justify the time and expense it takes me to get from Newcastle down to London for basically what was a one-day show when there just wasn't enough there to justify it, really. It was like a lot of the stalls were turning into people promoting Kickstarters as opposed to actually selling stuff. The show deals weren't any real bargains because folks online sold stuff kind of just as cheap, if you like. There was more deals online, if you like, in the sales. So yeah, I thought I'd kind of had enough of it. It's a brilliant place if you've never been before, and it's a brilliant place if you just want to kind of meet up with some friends that you haven't seen in a little while. But I think I'd kind of exhausted myself on it. I felt like it costs a fortune for a train from Newcastle to London. I actually went down to Surrey at the weekend to Thorpe Park with my son, and it was cheaper to buy 2 aeroplane tickets to Heathrow from Newcastle than it was to buy 2 train tickets. I couldn't believe it. It took me like less than an hour to fly to London, and it was cheaper than getting the train. I could not believe it. But yeah, train tickets are an absolute fortune into London from Newcastle, and they take forever. It's like a 5 or 6 hour train ride. It's not like it's fast. So yeah, all those things kind of added together, which just kind of got me to a point where it was like, yeah, I've kind of had enough now. But yeah, but like I say, without not having sort of having missed sort of networking and all that kind of stuff, it might be time to kind of rethink that now. Andrew says I've got to be as good a skier as I am because I listened to my dad's co-worker. Dad pretty much telling me the exact same things, but it never clicked. Yeah, Dan says Luke's gonna buy one instead and just print everything off. That's the way to do it, mate. Michael says plastic cement smells of nostalgia. Same with GW paints, especially lead belcher. Yeah, I do know what you mean, staying school kids. Luke says that Luke fella sounds bloody lovely. Odds to know 2 people called Luke Pryor. VG says, time to get on with these Thursday morning tasks. We'll be listening in as I do. No worries, buddy. I'll drop you a message after the stream, mate, okay? Peter says, you know what I miss the most from the shows? A good, messy and busy bringing by. Yeah, I definitely kind of, I know what you mean with the bringing by stuff, mate. It wasn't something I used to spend a huge amount of time in myself personally, but I do kind of completely understand the value of them for folks. Right, what the hell does this do? Ah, okay, so I know what they are now. So this is the roof section. Let's put that to one side for a bit. And this is now the roof section, and I've just noticed that all these bits basically fit around the outside of it there to kind of as a trim around it. So do they go underneath? Do they go on the top? Do they go? That looks like I should probably go like that. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. We can see the little gaps and stuff in it now. Whoops. So we need to clean those up. That's that one goes there. I'm assuming that's the one that goes along the back that way, which it is. There's loads of little holes in them for spikes and stuff as well. I'll have to see where they go. That looks like that one goes on there. That looks good. And then does that one go on that one as well? Yeah, that looks good. So that goes that way around. Let's clean up those, and then we'll get them ones fitted. Jess says, I've only been to Salute once a couple of years ago, really enjoyed it, not been to a proper show before, and I was working down that way. Yeah, honestly, mate, like, I mean, I've been many times. It's not like I've been once and said I'm never going back kind of thing. I've been like maybe 5, 6, 7 times, something like that, over the years. I just find that there's not enough to do there, as in like there's not enough demos to kind of take part in. There's not enough like space for demos. There's a lot of like just display stuff, like a lot of like war games clubs like showing off their kind of like their tables and things. So it's nice to look at stuff, but I just find that it's a long way to go to buy things I can get online probably cheaper. So unless I'm meeting up with friends or using it as part of like a business trip type thing, it's kind of a little bit lost on me these days. Dave says, yeah, Newcastle to London is a ball ache for a single day show. I'm in London, so it's just a day out for me. Keen to pick up some Northumbrian Tin Soldiers mini there. Weirdly, mate, Northumbrian Tin Soldiers is about 5 minutes from my front door. So that's like, I mean, I can literally walk to where their place is. So yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to go all the way to London to see their stuff. I only recently realised that they have a shop that is like literally walking distance from my front door. So, good night, Ed. Take care, mate. Peterson, the fun part of bringing by is you see Painted Army for sale, and you joke if it's ever been won with. You almost always get the funniest anecdotes. I can imagine that, mate. Actually, it's nice to be able to do that. Kind of understand the backstory of where something's come from. Tony says, right, ladies and gents, thank you for your company. And Andy for hosting. It's been lovely to chat, but heading to bed. Good night, mate. Take care. Speak soon, my friend. Dave saying, train tickets are ridiculous. It's unbelievable, the price of train tickets. I couldn't believe it when I've been looking at train tickets recently. Like my son's he's at uni in Durham, and he's got friends who live in Birmingham, and he's been looking at the price of train tickets to kind of go down and visit them to go and see his friends. And honestly, the price of tickets, like the trains are, I mean, I sound like a grumpy old man now, but bloody hell, the price of train tickets is unbelievable in this country. Jill says, yeah, looking to go to Manchester in March. The cost to go when you don't drive is ludicrous. It's weird, Jill, because train tickets to Edinburgh, for example, are really, really reasonable. So if we get the train to Edinburgh for the weekend, it's really super priced. It's not bad at all. But it must be something to do with like kind of like the lines that's used and stuff like that. Because as soon as you want to go to London, it's just stupid. Dan saying, yeah, sounds a bit like Essen, to be honest. You can get most of the stuff shown there online cheaper about a week later. Yeah, I mean, it used to be really nice because before the kind of the heydays of the internet and all that kind of stuff, and there wasn't so many YouTube channels that were showing off things. The only way you could get to see these things early was to go to shows like that, really. I mean, back in the era when kind of people used to buy wargaming magazines and stuff as well. You went to these shows because you got to see stuff early. You got to see the new releases. It was exciting kind of thing. You met up with people that you kind of didn't see very often. You got to do like a demo of games. These days, the last time I was there, I've found there was too many stalls were basically Kickstarters that were essentially just using the show to basically to advertise their Kickstarter. It wasn't even like they had their products to show off, to say, oh, this is what's going to Kickstarter. If you pledge your money, this is what you'll get. It wasn't even like they had them. They were literally just like a table with with loads of leaflets. So that was a bit of a letdown. And a lot of the stuff, like I see, I mean, like I'm fortunate. I get things sent to me early. Like, for example, I've got the Dead Zone 3.0 starter set over there that Mantic sent out to me last week. It's not released yet. So there's stuff that like sort of YouTube channels, podcasters, like even like sort of channels companies themselves now have social media stuff that they never really used to be involved with, and they kind of release their own unboxings and all that kind of stuff. It's like some of the nice surprises of going to those events have kind of disappeared a bit now. So I'm not suggesting companies don't do any marketing and leave it all for Salute, but I feel like Salute hasn't evolved like in the way that UK Games Expo has improved over the years. Like I remember going to like the first ones at like the Strathallan Hotel in Birmingham when it was just like it looked a little bit like a local convention, like a local Comic Con type thing. Like the UK Games Expo has really evolved, and it's become a like an event to attend. That looks wrong there. Why is that the right one? That way, that way on. But I find Salute has not evolved. I find it's exactly the same as the first times I ever went. It's there's not a lot of space. The food options are not fantastic. It's expensive to get to, and even when I'm there, after spending all that money to get there, I still feel that I'm done and dusted by like halfway through the day. I don't even feel like I'm getting my money's worth to get a full day of entertainment out of it, really. And I appreciate I'm kind of being a bit of a whinger, but it's just like I'm not really a negative person, to be fair. It's just that's why I've chosen to probably not go back. However, like I say, it's a bit different now when I'm trying to kind of, from a business point of view, I'm trying to make contacts now. Michael says, going to Edinburgh in December. Think we're driving even though we're staying right by the station because cost and times. Yeah, it's not too bad from the northeast, mate, but yeah, generally trains are just stupid for some reason. Jess says, if anyone's going to Salute, check out Oakbound Studios stand. He's a sound fella and his display is great. Nice one, mate. Good to get some recommendations of who to see if you do go. I'm not trying to put people off, by the way. That wasn't my intention. Was to kind of to put people off it. But for me personally, that's all. That's all I'm saying. Like I say, I've been loads of times, and it's still an impressive sight. But it's just not the impressive sight it once was, I would say. Which way around does this go now? Is it like that? That's it. This is a bit of a puzzle. I'm quite enjoying it though. It's the only hard thing about it is normally I'd be doing this kind of just sitting listening to a podcast or something and not having to keep having a conversation on the go as well. Jill says, if you need any recommendations for things to do, Michael, just shout. Michael says, thanks for the offer. Late Night says, last time I went to a Games Expo, they just released Space Hulk. Christ, I'm old. Buy that. That is a bit old, mate. Jess says, never get a straight train ticket. Check where they stop on that journey and get tickets separate. It's way cheaper. Newcastle to Wales, I knocked from over 180 to 65. It's disgusting that you even have to do that, mate. I think there's apps now actually that will work that out for you to get like the cheapest train journeys and stuff by working all that stuff out. But it's wrong that you should even have to like do that. It's like a loophole that you shouldn't even have to try and find. Dan says, I know it's a bit hypocritical of me to say, but I get frustrated with shows being full of Kickstarter projects you can't get yet to. Feels a bit of an anticlimax. Yeah, I'll be honest, mate. I'm a little bit like I don't mind so much. Because, I mean, I've been fortunate in respect of what I do doing this channel and stuff. I've had the chance to play some Kickstarter games prior to them going to Kickstarter, so I can see if it's something that I would personally kind of recommend or if it's something I would back myself. And I appreciate that not everybody gets that opportunity. So, in terms of that, I can see the benefit in... Well, that's going to get spiky on my fingers, I think. I can see the benefit on... sort of having people be able to play test a Kickstarter. So there is benefit to that, and I understand from companies who are selling these games, they want to try and get people to try them out and stuff. It's great. What frustrates me probably more about the wargaming side of things is when it's advertising a Kickstarter that they don't even have any product. It's literally just like leaflets on a desk, and like it's that. Then it is a bit of an anticlimax as well, as in like, also, so what are you guys doing? Oh well, we've got this Kickstarter coming, or we haven't really done anything with it yet. Like you know, but it's coming soon. Watch out for it. And unfortunately, there was far too many stalls like that in my last experience of Salute. Anyway, that was a while ago. It might have all changed by now. Christian, good night, mate. Take care. Thanks for coming in as always. Oh, I can feel my cold coming in as the night goes on. Dan says, when I go to Essen, I only stay a day and a half. Cons with open gaming are just so much more engaging than the purely shotgun ones. Saying that I do enjoy it. Hope to go next year. To be honest, mate, like it's one of the things I enjoy about UK Games Expo is the fact that actually there's so much opportunity to just kind of hang out and play games. Like I don't feel like. I don't even feel sometimes like I have to go into the con itself. Like I've been to Aircon once, but just for a day, a few years ago. Not last year's. Was it not 2019? Sorry, but it must have been 2018. I went, and or was it 2019? When was lockdown? It's all blurred into one. It might have been 2019. It's not 2020. 2020 went ahead, didn't it? Just before lockdown. So yeah, it must have been 2019. And I went and I kind of pre-arranged to meet somebody there, and I basically just had a little wander around, and then basically played board games all day until late at night, and then drove back home again. And it was my first experience of just going to a con. Like to meet people and play games. In the past, it had always been a bit of a shopping trip. It had always been like, oh, what can you get? Like, I can't wait to see what's for sale, kind of thing. And it was nice to kind of to just hang out and play games. It was the first time I played Godfather, or The Godfather, I should say. Was at a convention. I had a great time. Right, where the hell do these go? These feels like it's too long to fit there. Are there any more? I've got more that I haven't clipped out. There's some holes around here. Oh, this proper is a puzzle. This one. Obviously doesn't go there. It could be. It might be that one. Oh, I missed any more. Let's have a little look around. I don't think so. Interesting. VG says, Danny, you still after skeleton drawing? Oh, that's it, yeah. Kath says, stop painting before I overtinker and ruin it. That's the plan. That's the thing, Kath. You always have to know when to stop. There's always a cut-off point of don't go too far. So if you know when that is, well done. Because I must admit, I'm terrible at telling myself I've done enough. I can't work out which way this goes. Let me have a little look at these pictures in a bit more close up. So it looks like that bit there definitely goes there. Yes, that one does go there. Look at the pictures. Why don't I just look at the picture? So that bit there definitely drops into there. We'll put a bit of glue in that one. One goes in. There we go. Where are we up to here? Vijay says, I am both excited for the game to come. Thomas says, I've stopped painting now. I've found the Discord. Oh, that's it now. You've got a lot to go back and read, mate. And Vijay is having a chat with Dan there as well. Nice one. Right, now this one definitely goes into there, because I've just looked at the picture. Although it doesn't seem to fit in those holes unless that goes... Is there a hole there as well? We might need to just trim that one down a little bit more, I think. Oh, that's it, it's perfect. So we'll drop it on camera there. We'll drop a little bit of glue in there, in there, in there, and then on the top there. Where are we up to here? Dave's saying, cheers for the stream. You are welcome, Dave. Thank you very much for coming and joining the stream tonight. It'll be lovely to see you here again, so please take care. No, that's not it. Have I just put the wrong one down? Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one, that's why. And there we go, that's it. These look awesome, but I must admit, they are desperately missing some instructions, that's for sure. Calls off as well, got to watch the rest later. Keep building that building, Andy, can't wait to see it finish. you and me both, mate. You and me both. I'll tell you what, the hardest bit tonight has been doing it while I've been trying to have a conversation at the same time. It's been surprisingly difficult to build and hold a conversation. Jess says, to be fair, the price of that kit is made back due to the head scratching enjoyment solving the mysteries. Do you know what it is, mate? If I tend to put like a value on things of like sort of like smiles per pound type thing, or like how many hours enjoyment do I get from it. It has been quite nice just to kind of to plod through and build it, to be fair. Right, so that's that bit. I think that's that roof section is completely done now. And if I look at the building here, so that bit sits quite nicely onto there like that. So that's how that part, if we can get on camera. That's how. So you can just have it as like a building like that with a flat roof. You can just have it like that if you want to. But what you also obviously get in the box is this roof section that I now need to work out and see how all this bit goes together. Because this bit doesn't look quite so easy. So there's a chimney stack, which obviously goes into that back wall there. Assume that goes into there. Yeah, that bit goes there. There's a couple of bits in here, which I assume is these. They must be those chimney sections. Must go into there. So that's pretty obvious. That looks all right, nice and clean. There's some chimney stacks here that go on the roof sections, so that's okay. This bit here looks like it goes onto there, so let's pop that on. We'll clean that bit up and get that glued on. Late Night says, instructions, we are men, what are instructions? It either works or it's broken. I think the problem is when you spend good money on something, the last thing you want to do is balls it up. But I must admit, I've enjoyed the challenge of it. It's obviously took me quite some time, but then What is time? Time enjoyed is never wasted. Right, that's that. And then that bit will go on to there. He says to there. Yeah, it goes that way. It just needs cleaning up first. Dan says, that's me done. Nice to drop in, Andy. Chat you later. Take care, buddy. Don't be a stranger. Hope to see you soon. And I hope Core Request goes blazing guns at Essen for you, mate. Take care, bud. Mouse is back. How are we doing for time? Where are we at? Was it 10:30? I can crack on for a little bit longer. Seems I'm just building here. I'm just chatting. Could do with a drink, like, but never mind. Night, Dan. Right, goes on to there. Just needs a little bit of pressure to put that on. Nice one. Oh, a little bit of a sprue bit to cut off there as well, just sticking out. So what's everybody's plans for this weekend, and what are you all up to? Have you got some nice gaming plans, some nice hobby plans? Anybody getting any games in this weekend that I can be jealous of? It's been ages since I played any gaming with family commitments and streams, and I will be playing something on Monday, which I'll also be filming, to be fair. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to my chat with Kyle. I've also got an interview that I'm just fine-tuning the date of with the Army Painter, to have a chat with the guys there about their range of stuff and what they're up to. I've got a chat with Matt from Mantic, so I'm looking forward to having a chat with him about all things Mantic, what's coming up in their world. What else have I got on the boil? Is there anything else? I'm trying to think now. I've kind of been making a push to get some stuff lined up. I've got a review of Vagrant Song that's in the process at the moment. It's just been kind of scripted and getting all my thoughts down. Yeah, I've got kind of my brain's kind of kicking into gear again. Kath said it's a birthday. Is that this weekend? Happy birthday for this weekend, Kath. I hope you have an awesome one, and I hope Andy treats you well. I'm sure he always does. Jill's got another charity stream. Have you really, Jill? I didn't realise you had a second one. I'll have to try and tune in for this one. Then I couldn't make it last week. I didn't realise you had a second stream. You are a glutton for punishment, my friend. Tom Watson, I've just subbed to the Disney Channel, so I'm looking forward to Marvel and Star Wars. I'll be honest, mate. I subbed to the Disney Channel as well, to Disney Plus, and I am super impressed with the amount of stuff that's on there. I've watched a lot of stuff I wouldn't have considered watching, to be fair. And I get my money's worth out of the Disney Channel, I'll be honest. Busey said he's got a family coming over on Saturday. First time seeing niece and nephew since 2019. Wow, mate, that's awesome news. I hope you have a fab weekend. What am I doing this weekend? I don't think I've got anything planned, to be honest. I don't think I've got any plans other than I think my wife's taking my little boy to a birthday party, so that means I haven't got the car for the day. I've got to do some work on Sunday because for Monday's live stream, because I'm busy all day Monday doing some other work. So I can't do the prep on Monday, so I need to do all the prep on Sunday. So I'll be working this weekend. What else will I be doing? I'm not really sure, actually. Oops. Get that chimney pot in there as well. Deep Red says, I picked up Battle of Little Bighorn board game off eBay. It was made in '64. Looking forward to playing on Friday. A nice one. Jill says, they talked me into it at the end of the last one. Yeah, that's where it is. You look in the chat. Yoakum's off out hiking this weekend. Hopefully there'll be some room for Rumble Slam in the backpack. That'll be nice, mate. Jess is asking where we find the stream, Jill. Kat says he bought me a bright pink Western hognose. A Western hognose? Ah, it's a snake. I'm assuming that's what it is. I forgot you were snake, folks. A Western hognose. I'm going to have to Google one of those now and see what it is. Jess says, the thing he's working on will be on the Disney Channel next year. I'll let you know what it is near the time. Please do, mate. I look forward to it. Jill says, don't know if it links will post, but if you look on Twitch for Jill Gorham, you'll find me. I'll try and get a I'll try and pop a link up in the description of the video, Jill, for anybody that's watching this back afterwards. If you can if you send me a link, I'll cut and paste it and put it across. And then if folks have got a bit of time on their hands at the weekend, they can come and join you and hang out. Jill says, lovely Kath. I adored my hoggy when I had him. You animal folks, I'm certainly not an animal person. It all goes over my head when you start talking about your pets. Right, so that bit definitely. Let's have a little look here, because that bit needs to be cleaned off. That's it. Now, how much space is there on this? Because that looks like a lot of space to. I'll still get into there. Does that bit fit into that? So that bit. Do we put that on afterwards? Dry fit is your friend. Yeah, I think we might put that on afterwards. Bit definitely goes into there. So we'll clean that bit up. Time and money, it's for charity. Yes. Yeah, bring your time and your money. What charity is it for, Jill? Tizzy Brindrin's got a wedding on Saturday and then painting more Star Wars Legion on Sunday. Nice one, fella. Bit of hobby planned. Sorry for the squeaky mice again. Cat's visiting parents and the Games Workshop in Milton Keynes. Is that whereabouts? Are your parents in Milton Keynes? Whereabouts are you guys? I'm sure you've told me this before, but I've got a terrible memory, so I apologise for not remembering. Sunday Sykes says, damn, I slept in. How's it going, Andy? Not too bad, mate. And Jill saying it's for Edinburgh Children's Hospital. That's it. I remember seeing it on the last stream thing you were doing. Not on the stream itself, but on the page thing. Awesome. A very worthy charity. I'm sure that's going right through your ears, folks. I apologise in advance. How are we doing? Nice. 40 viewers at the minute. Not bad for this time of night. And 50 likes. That can't be bad. Is there anybody watching the stream who hasn't given it the thumbs up? It'd be awesome if you did. Look at me begging for likes like some kind of cheapy YouTuber. Please like me. Right. Cass is wearing sunny Chess Vegas in Derbyshire. Nice. Not wrong with a bit of Derbyshire. Right, so those two bits there then. 51 is mine. That nice one, mate. See, I knew if I asked you wouldn't remember. Late at night is as long as you don't start filing your nails, I'm good. Yeah, I'm all right with my nails. I tend to just give them a good cut. I'm not I'm not that vain, to be fair. Right, so those bits are cleaned off. So that bit goes into there. We'll just dry fit these for the moment, because that bit goes into there. God, I've got a right mess here. I think the first job tomorrow is to get the Hoover out, I think. It's a bit late to be doing it now. Right, so that, we know that goes into there, so I'll just take it out for now. It's understanding how this fits into here. Does that just sit on there like that? Yeah, I think that's how that fits there. Those gaps at the back there feel wrong though. I wonder what's in the back of that. Let's have a look. Have I got any pictures here? It's not the easiest thing to see, like, I'll give you that, like. But we'll work it. So what's all these bits? Right, so that's a little window which basically goes in here. Oh yeah, that fits in there. And then so that bit fits there. And the bit with the chimney stack on, isn't it? So that bit fits into that. Okay, so we can glue that bit in because that bit definitely goes in there. Jill's off to bed. You are very welcome, Jill. Speak tomorrow, no doubt. Take care. See you then. Luke's saying he's up in Lancaster for a wedding all weekend. Can't wait. Nice one, mate. I haven't been to a wedding in ages. I think the last wedding I went to might have been my own. Whoops. That's that bit. Ah, so that's what these bits are. These bits are the bits that go into the sides. So, trying to understand which way around they go now. So I imagine that's like that. Yes, that goes into there. So what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of glue here, a little bit here, a bit down that side, and a bit along here. And that will go to there. I'll just hold that in place. Oops. Put that in the wrong place there. That's it. Where are we at? Nails are for nibbling. I'm not a nail biter, mate. Tall Martin like a Jill Cassius, make Mike go. Yeah. Mark have a chat. Son, it's your monologue building terrain sounds very similar to mine when I'm putting the machinery back together at work. Yeah, sadly, mate, I know you're a bit later onto the stream, so there's no instructions for this. So whilst it could be frustrating that there's no instructions, I'm using it as a bit of a nice challenge, mate. Having a bit of fun with it. And there is a way it goes together. So if there is, excuse me, if there is instructions online and I've missed them, then so be it. I've enjoyed the challenge of building it tonight. What I would say is, and we've not really touched upon this yet, let me just show you. There's still a lot of stuff left on these sprues to make up some barrels, to make up some boxes. These things here, like kind of like wicker basket things with like ladles and stuff on. There's some crates here. So there's still plenty of sort of scatter bits around in here. Again, there's some ladders for the inside there as well. There's some kind of ropes to hang. There's some little sort of axes and things. There's a spike there which looks like, let me clip that off. It looks like it's one of the roof spikes. It must, I'm assuming there must be there's bound to be a little hole thing for it. Let's have a look. Yep, yes there is, it's there. Just fits into the roof there. So let's pop that in. And we'll pop that into there. There we go, just pop in the corner. So we've got that bit That's it, that's the main part of that building there. We've got this bit starting to go together. So I assume, so that's those bits. These bits here, I need to find out that one go there, I guess. Yes, that one goes there, so we'll glue that one in as well. So a bit of glue down here, a little bit in there, a little bit in there, a bit along the top. Just clean off that edge bit there. Tiberius is saying that's a gorgeous model. It's going together lovely, mate. I mean, it's like, I know, like I said before, there's no instructions, and so it's a bit of a down. It would be nice. It would be nice, to be honest. It would just make it easier. That's all. It wouldn't stop it being out. But it's the quality of it's lovely. It's really nice. I mean, you can see all the kind of like broken bits of plaster and stuff in it. The wood in the roof. So in the top of here, obviously, we've got some chimney stacks to go in here, which basically go into the top. They all need cleaning up. There's a couple of those. There's some little chimney stacks here, which basically go into the back there. Let me spin that around. So, well, or it will when I clean up the little bit of excess. They'll go into the back there. It's just really nice. It's lovely. We'll clean up the roof section here. That's it. Trying to mark all there. Sun and Says, look like you're having fun with it. I was like building the tower flyers for Aeronautic Imperials last night. That was fun too. Luke says, are those buildings very expensive? They're about 50 quid, mate. We were looking earlier on. I think this one in particular is £55 retail price. Then obviously you can obviously get discount off them and stuff as well. But yeah, I think they're like 50. I think they're 55 quid, mate. Now that one there seems to have. That one seems to have a little noggin there and a little noggin there, which would suggest that there's something that goes between them to support it. So let's have a little look and see if I'm missing anything here. I don't know if there is. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. So that's alright. I mean, it doesn't need it, like. It just seems strange that there's those two sections are there. Lid for this. Clean these bits up now. That's that one. Yeah, my throat's starting to dry out now. And I've got a little bit of tea left, but it's stone cold. I made that cup of tea about 8:15. So yeah, it's I don't think it would taste the best now. Right. See the numbers are starting to dwindle a little bit now, but no, actually they're not too bad. They're just a bit lower than they were. But yeah, we'll got through quite a bit tonight. I think I'm quite happy with progress. To be honest, I didn't really know what to expect from this kit. I'd opened it up just to have a look. Actually, what's inside this box thing? Some bits in here, isn't there? Well, that's like a. Is that something? I've got no idea what that is. What's that? It's like half a frying pan or something. We'll have a look and see what that is. That looks like a bit of a thing. I think this bit is some kind of sort of like weird. It's like some kind of devil's head thing. I think, if I'm right, I think that bit goes in here, like that. It does. So I think we'll glue that bit in while I remember. And I must remember I've not glued in this front section yet. So that's that bit. As I was saying, cool, lovely kit. Yeah, it's not bad, mate, is it? It's not bad. I know it's not a cheap one, but I do think it's worth the cost for what you get in it. Nice and solid as well. It's not too flimsy. There's no little bits that are going to get sort of snapped and stuff. Michael says, work finally done, so bedtime for me. Nice one, mate. Sleep well, take care, and we'll speak soon, mate. Right, so that's the front section to go into there. I appreciate my chat's probably dried up a little bit, folks, but I'm at the point now where I'm trying to work out the puzzle now of where everything goes. Right, that's the bit in. This bit, let's work out how that goes. That one go that way. Yes, it does. Clean up a little bit there. A little bit off the back there as well. I'm just kind of talking to myself now, folks. You don't want silence, do you? You at least want to hear something. Oh, what was that? Peter Koeman. Thank you for the donation, mate. He says, get this man some tea. Thank you very much, mate. I think I'm going to have a cup of tea before bed tonight. I think I'll finish on the stream. Once I've... I'm intending to try and do the bulk of this model, to be honest. Because I can either say, good night, everybody, and turn the stream off. Or I can just keep going and just keep trying to build this. But I kind of want to... I want to get to a point where tomorrow's job is just cleaning up after myself. I've made a right mess here with all the little bits of plastic. Right, that bit goes into there. So a little bit of glue up the side bit, a little bit in the joints. Thank you very much, Peter, by the way. Hugely appreciated. I have to go back to the hospital in the morning for a blood test, so I will treat myself to a cup of tea afterwards. Thank you with your kind donation. Thank you very much. Right, so that's that bit. So that bit fits in there, okay. That bit fits in there. Let's do these little chimneys. We'll clean these up and get these chimneys fitted. Chop the little sprue clips off the top there. Tall Marty and keep going. Yeah, we'll keep going. As long as you folks want me to keep going, I'm happy to. If you've got anything you want to chat about as well, it's because I'll be honest. While I'm concentrating on this, I'm fine to talk, but trying to come up with topics, stuff to chat about, a bit like, oh. Jessica, you'll get it finished and it'll turn out it's a puzzle like Lament configuration, but of Hellraiser, and Pinhead will turn up. I don't see that, mate. That'll have me nightmares for a month. That. Right. So that bit goes into there. Whoops. He says. Oh, let me just clean up a little bit of a thing down the side. That would be amazing. It would not be amazing. Seeing I crack on, fella. Right, let me just get that fit into there. Just trying to find out which way around this goes. So it's like a square peg on the bottom of this. I'm trying to find out which way around it goes before I kind of push fit it. I just need a bit cleaning up a little bit. Good evening, Mark. How are you doing, my friend? Nice to see you in again. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Mark says, good night, everyone. Posted some pics on Facebook of tonight's progress, and thanks for the chat. Despite the scraping noise, I did apologise in advance for the scraping noise, mate. You live and learn, eh? We have such sites to show you and instructions. That's it. That's the way it goes. Right, so let's put a little bit of glue in there. Night, Margot. Take care, mate. And that's that. That's that one in, and then we got this. I'll try not to scrape too close to the microphone. Eh? Let's that bit off. Bye. That's it. Scrape away now, yeah. I think I just did, mate. Right, and then that bit will obviously go to there. It's got a very kind of sort of weird little vibe, this building, to be honest. I like how it is. Tiberius Wallace, I've never formally thanked you, mate, for your Patreon pledge. You've upped your pledge this last month, and I must admit, it kind of, for some reason, it never like flagged up to me. So thank you very, very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. No regrets. I'm off anyway. Sunday Sykes, I'm off to work night, mate. Take care, Sunday Sykes. Markson was scraping tonight. Witches for Moonstone all prepped. Nice, mate. Bit of Moonstone on the table. Peter says, yeah, please keep the scraping noise to a minimum. I can hardly hear the voices in my head telling me what to break next. Yeah, I will try it. It's the complete opposite of is it ASMR? The complete opposite of that. Everyone just going like, no, it's like nails down a chalkboard. Please don't do it. Right, we'll see how these fit. I think I need to clean the bottom of that one a little bit. So I've got all my Dead Zone minis all built, ready for a bit of painting. So that's a job to be done soon. Looking forward to that. We might do some Dead Zone painting next week on the stream, I think. Unless I've already unless I get some done at the weekend, and then I won't have them to do. I'm not actually sure when Dead Zone comes out. It can't be long now, is it? It comes out in October. Right, get them pushed in. I just need to clean up a little bit there. I forgot that little mold line down the front. Sorry for the scraping. I'm not really sorry, let's be honest. Right, clean up the top of this. There we go. Bliss has is October 25th the release date. Ah, there you go, mate. We're about 10 days away, are we? That Wolverine Veerman will look good in your red and orange colour scheme. It will, mate. I'm quite impressed with the model. In fact, let me show you the model. It's literally right behind me. Let me just grab it. So here it is. Built and primed, ready to go. In fact, let me zoom in a little bit. Well, other way. Let me clear a bit. Let's clean the table a bit. Yeah, here it is. Can't really see, can you, with it being primed black? Yeah, it's an awesome model. Really nice. Looking forward to getting some paint on that. There we go. Right, so we can glue that to there now. That seems to fit in quite nice. The only thing I'm kind of conscious of is that there's these holes in the back. Is there anything that goes over them? Or is that? Oh, does that fit over it? Let's pop that under there. Just saying, yeah, Des Own Painting sounds like a good choice. Yeah, Mantic Sculpts are definitely improve. Honestly, mate, that Veerman model is awesome sauce, as they say. So that will fit into there. That fit inside there. That feels like it should have something across the back there. I bet this is really noisy on the stream. I'm really sorry. That's it. That clips into there. Peter said I was going to go with the books only, but when I see that one, I want the whole starter. That model is nice, mate, to be fair, isn't it? It went together lovely as well, the resin. It's a bit fiddly, this, folks. I don't want to glue those bits on until I know that they're definitely going in that kind of order. That bit definitely glues into there. Right, we'll glue them 2 bits in because we know they definitely go there. So if we put a bit of glue up there, bit of glue on here. That kind of goes there a little bit, I think. Pop, whoop, get it the right way around. Actually, that bit will go there as well. That's it. We'll just hold that in place for a second. Let's have a little look in the chat. Yeah, it's all quiet now. You're all either just hobbying away, sitting in silence. Jesse, I'll be getting some Dead Zone stuff over the weekend for Stargrave. I'll get as much as I can through your Goblin Gaming link, fella. Thank you very much, mate. I mean, I completely appreciate that. Obviously, you buy it where you getting your best deal, or whoever you're supporting, mate. But if you do go there, I do appreciate the support. Peter says, yeah, it's a great idea. I'll go for the starter set and neoprene mat, but I still have to find it somewhere around here. Yeah, I must admit, I think I'm going to have to pick up a neoprene mat at some point. I do like the paper mat, man. I like the design. I'm looking over there. That's why. It's because it's on the board over there. Let's get that glued there. Same with this one as well. A bit of glue. It feels like there should be something goes across the back of this. We'll have to have a look. That's it. Pieces. I have 2 of the first edition neoprene. Love them. Yeah, I've got the first edition neoprene, second edition neoprene. I've got, I suppose. I think it came. The neoprene mat came with the second edition. I think. Because I'm sure the first edition came with one of those paper mats that had the demo things on them as well. Yeah, Peter says double mat games sounded like fun, so I got 2. Yeah. Alright, so those little pins there definitely fit in there. I tell you what we're going to do. Oh, we'll glue this in as well. So that goes. Bit of damage to the front there, like that. So we'll drop a bit of glue into here. Get that put in. Peter says, no, I had the first edition with neoprene, second with paper. I thought the second edition came with a neoprene mat. Could be wrong, mate. Maybe it was that way around. I bought first edition as well, mate, to be fair, so. But I thought it was second edition that came with that. obviously getting mixed up. Right. So that's in there. Mark's saying his second was paper. Yeah, oh, in that case, then I must have got it, mate. I must have got it with the first. My TV trying to turn itself off. Right, so let's glue those two side pieces in. And we'll get them bits put into there. Same one here as well. Get that bit put into there. That's that. Now I do have this wooden beam here, and I have no idea where I got it. I don't know if I've just ended up with two of those. It looks like a shelf. I wonder if there's a shelf on the inside anywhere. Oh, there is. There's a shelf on the inside of the building there. I knew there was. So we'll pop that one in while I remember where it goes. Cass says Mr. Smith is snoozing on the sofa, trying to poke him awake and head to bed. Good night, all. Good night, Kath. Please say thanks to Andy as well. Take care, Smith family. And I will see you next week. No doubt. Mark says this Horrified game is quite fun. Is it really, mate? I've heard lots of good things, but like I say, I don't know a lot about it. Excuse me. I do like a nice board game, mate. Right, quickly that in. Tasty Brain Drink says, which version did you get? The Universal or the American Cryptid one? Right, now this bit. It's the bit along the back I'm not entirely certain about. Let's see how that fits in here. Because it looks like that should just sit. This is going to be an off-stream thing. It's getting a bit fiddly now, this bit. VGC, I plan to run an online game of Horrified. The Discord. Ah, nice one, mate. Let's link up on that one then. This is way more fiddly than I anticipated. I'm starting to think I shouldn't have glued those. I shouldn't have glued those chimneys in until I'd done the roof. I think they sit into there. That's it. Ah, I'll tell you what, once it's in the right place, it's like ping, everything's there. I think what I'll do is I'll get it in the right place and then I'll just drip some glue into the joins, I think. It needs to come back out of there. Because that needs to go under that lip. That's it. Right, so that bit needs to go. Sorry I'm not chatting much here, folks. I'm trying to get this to fit. goodness. Yeah, kind of. I had one side fitted. Oh, that's it. We've got it, I think. That just needs to hinge up to there. That'll drop into place if I can just... That's it. We did it. Oh, no, not quite. That bit needs to go to there. That's it. Yes. Yes, we did it. So what I think I'll do now is, rather than trying to take it apart again and glue it together, I think what I'll do is I'll just run some glue. That's the beauty of this stuff, is because it melts the plastic. I'll run some glue along the joins in there, and that'll seal it up like that. And I'll run some down there, and that'll kind of melt them in. Put it on there. That's it. Or a little bit along there. I'll just melt in and just melt it all together. And then we'll just hold it for a bit. Because I'd put a rubber band on it if I were you. If I had a rubber band handy, mate. I'm just going to sit with it for 2 minutes. It melts pretty quick, this glue stuff, with the plastic. So, yeah. And then obviously we've got the chimney breast to go up the back here as well. So that fits in. Actually, I'm going to glue that on because that seems to hold the top in place as well at the same time. Sure, we'll put a bit of glue on here. Jess says that was like watching penalties. we got there, mate. We got there. We're a team. We all got there together. That's it. There we go. As if by magic. Like you doubted me. Just use your hand, mate. You cheeky beggar. Right. So that ain't looking too shabby. Now I've got this bit. Does that go? I'm assuming that bit goes on there like that. Seems to fit on that lip there. Is there a front and a back to it? I don't know. Try spin it around, see if it makes any difference. No, I don't think so. I think it just goes anywhere. Right, so what we'll do is we'll clean that up. And then we'll glue that on, and I think, to be honest, that'll probably do us for tonight. The only things left to do is we've got like some barrels and stuff and some bits of ropes and things, but you don't need to see me cutting out the little bits. We'll just square up these little bits. Get that done. Right, so does that fit in there? No, it doesn't. The roof section. I'm trying to. It doesn't really sort of show you obviously which way around that goes, but well, that fits inside there, so that's obviously how that goes. What I do want to do is, I must have missed when I was cleaning it up. There's a couple of little sort of sprue clips at the front here. I've kind of missed, so we'll just tidy them up. I can't believe how much my head's been on screen tonight, folks. It's a good job I'm not bothered about being bald, isn't it? Luke says, have a good one, mate. I've done as much as I can tonight. Have a good weekend, everyone. Thank you, buddy. Take care, my man. And speak soon, love. Enjoy the wedding as well. So, put that on there. And glue around the edge there. A bit on there. And sit that. And I think, folks, that is the building. I'm sure there's some extra little bits and stuff, like some nice little kind of dress bits to go on it. But that's so that roof just kind of sits in there as a loose piece, really, just so it kind of can sit like that in the building. Let's get it on the camera there, like that. Or you can have it so it sits with a flat roof on it like that as well. And I think, if I take that off, I think that bit can also just sit like that as well if you want to just have it like that as well. And I think that's the beauty of some of this Terrainscape stuff, is that basically it's quite modular, so you can kind of do what you want with it, really. Awesome sauce. So thank you very much, folks. Thank you for sticking with it as well. Peter saying it looks pretty neat. Yeah, it's not too bad, is it? Not too bad at all. The roof bit section there as well just seems to have gone together quite well. I'm just looking on the kind of sprue bits that's left. So essentially what we've got left, there's some wicker baskets, some crates, some bits of rope, some more barrels, some ladders. There's some like little bits of like wood, must like some like bowls and things as well, I think. Like little bits of like food and yeah, some nice little cool little finishing touches, which are quite nice. Tom Watt saying, great stream. Night, Andy and everyone. Good night, mate. Deep Red saying, painting most of his dark elves. Going to chill till the end now. Nice one, mate. Tom Watt says, will you show it painted? I definitely will, mate. I might even, if I can work out a quick way to do it, I might even kind of do like a little tutorial type thing on how I painted it quickly. I sometimes need to kind of sort of give it a little bit of thought, really, and see what the quick way to bring these. Because that's the beauty with this kind of stuff. You do not want to take forever on it. Because as soon as you start taking forever on bits of like sort of scenery and terrain and stuff, like you're on a hiding to nothing, I think. Aaron Walker, good evening, mate. He says, thanks for the stream. Looks like you had fun. Time to get on with the day. Cheers, buddy. Yes, I'm going to call it a night now. It's 20 past 11. So thank you very much, folks. Thank you to everyone who donated tonight. Thank you to our new Patreon tonight as well. And please, if you haven't seen last night's video, please do check that out. That is the how to, like, it's kind of 5 tips on how to build your dead zone terrain. And keep an eye out for the new videos coming later in the week as well. So take care, folks. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching my video. I hope that you really enjoyed it. And if you did, why not consider clicking on the suggested video below to see more of the work that I've done. If you'd like to support the long-term sustainability of this channel, why not consider checking out my Patreon, where you can pledge and support from as little as $2 a month. And there is lots of different tiers and bonuses, which will give you access to a private Discord server. It will give you free t-shirts, free mugs, a podcast every month, and a number of other things, including getting your name at the end of every video, like these awesome folks who already support me now.